Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon in every time zone, everywhere where you can get an internet signal, or perhaps you are watching this, in the husk of future times when the internet no longer exists. Welcome, one and all, to Toast AM, the semi regular show where me and my lovely co host, Dave,
Me? You think I'm lovely?
indeed, but don't,
Oh, that's
but,
sweet.
but I try not to say it in front of you.
Well, that's good. It does go to my head, and
Mhm.
you know, nobody's ever called me humble. Let's just say that.
Well, welcome one and all. We are excited to be with you here tonight
So excited.
once
I
again
think.
to venture forth into the time of the past,
Yes.
to look forward into the future,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and to
Mm-hmm.
to hang out with friends. That's a good part. So, Dave, speaking of which, we haven't talked much this week. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Okay.
It was had had a little bad news this week. There was very bad news actually. One of my uncles passed away, but he was well into his 90s, so
I'm
it
sorry to
wasn't
hear.
it wasn't
Was not
shocking.
expected necessarily.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't unexpected. He had a very long, very full life, but still, I'm uh I'm starting to run out of uncles. Paul, there was a time in my life I had 17. Now I have two. This is
Wow.
this is a disturbing trend. I don't like where it's going.
No,
Yeah.
no, you're unlikely to get new ones. So.
It doesn't see at this point in life, it does seem there doesn't seem to be much hope on that front.
No. Well, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry to hear that, and yeah.
But
Cheers to.
how about you? Now that I've brought the energy down,
Yeah,
now
you
that
brought
I've
the energy
been
down.
through, yeah, yeah.
Things are okay. Things are okay.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, we
On
not
the plus side,
really. Go ahead.
I found a fantastic new rum.
Oh, amazing.
Now the downside is it's called Dun Robin,
Okay.
and I highly recommend it. I think it would be a big hit in your household. As far as I know, currently this is only available for purchase in Ontario, but I believe it's going to soon be available in some other provinces, including yours, because there's some kind of deal in the works to
Yeah,
make
it's
that
my
happen.
understanding we've signed some kind of free trade liquor deal
That's
with Ontario.
Yeah. So if you see Dun Robin rum on your shelves, I
All right.
suggest you pick some up.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And they're not even sponsoring this stream,
They're not
so
even sponsoring. That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
Just
In
done
fact,
robbing.
in fact,
Done
I
robbing
paid
them? Is that
them.
what?
Yeah. Uh,
And so they got the
yes.
name. All right. Well,
Really got the name.
cheers to you and your family, and to happy and healthy audience, and to us. Cheers.
Cheers to all, everybody. What are you drinking tonight?
That was pineapple tequila.
Okay. Yep.
I do not enjoy my pineapple tequila, but I don't if I don't drink it every once in a while, it'll never be gone.
It's like how every now and then you have to watch a bad movie just to help you appreciate the good ones.
That's right.
Speaking of, what we didn't talk about before, we said we were
Project Hail
going
Mary.
to.
I don't know what have we not talked about.
We probably that yes, but also good luck, have fun, don't die, which
Oh,
I have
that
now
well, that
watched.
was last stream
That
when
was
I
last stream, but I hadn't watched it yet, and you
yes.
said I promised I would watch it in
Oh,
time, and I
and have
have.
you? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, we should
it's
save. Go ahead.
yeah,
Well, all right. If you're giving me the
it's
meh,
fine.
it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah,
But
that's about
but
it.
Sam
Yeah.
Rockwell was great
Oh yeah,
because he's
but
always great.
I expect this is the tragedy of somebody who is exemplary, right? Is that when you are great, it's like, well, I expect Sam Rockwell to be great.
Right.
I would, if he's not great, that's worthy of comment. If Sam Rockwell is great, it's just like, well, of course Sam Rockwell's great. Sam Rockwell's always great. And then, that's the problem with being as great as Sam Rockwell.
I
But Project
felt
Hail
like
Mary, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
sorry. I felt like that movie was literally like they blended together like everything that was every time something was cool, it's like, okay, that's cool, but that's also from another movie.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is fine. You obviously, people can use other movies as inspiration, especially in combinations. And there was fun combinations, but I'd be like, oh, that's Terminator, and that's Groundhog Day, and that's like, it's like, oh, that was something else.
And there's no real new ideas or whatever, right? Like that's fine. But just they also didn't, like, I don't know. There was nothing I felt like there's not really anything new to say here. You're not saying anything in a particularly different or interesting way. This is just Sam Rockwell's charisma is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this movie. Let's just say
yes,
that.
yes.
But
And creative deaths, I thought so. Yeah.
yes.
Anyway,
Project
cool.
Hail Mary is fantastic and 2 thumbs up. And if you haven't seen it, you should go see it.
I haven't,
probably going to go see it again in the theater.
Yeah, no, we tried last weekend and it just didn't work. But yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, no,
gotta.
This is just to anybody watching internet land. It's very good and highly worth seeing. So,
but my kids all saw it and they all gave it high praise. So.
Everybody except Paul. Poor Paul.
All right. Well, Dave, we're already giving away. So here we are, just promoting alcohol and promoting movies, and none of which are giving us money.
None of which are giving us, once again, another thing that I paid to see. Yeah, and
so Dave,
yeah.
Look, it'd be fiscally irresponsible of us to continue to talk about products.
Yeah,
just for nothing.
To bring up people who aren't paying us money.
Can you fix this situation for us, please?
Not only can I fix it, I really am tremendously excited for the opportunity to fix it. I am so excited to talk about this week's sponsor, Paul. Well, first of all, I'd like to say super chats always appreciated. We love it. Everybody who's here, it's great. That's good. Out of the way. Paul, while I have known about and admired this product for years, I have to say that I've only ever had very rare opportunities to make use of it personally. And when they reached out to us, frankly, I was shocked. I could not believe that we were able to land such a prestigious and frankly lucrative sponsor. And you know what, Paul? I'm so excited that I'm going to get right to it. And without any further muss or fuss, please let me take one moment to tell you and everybody watching this stream about our new and very, very special friend, the good shit. That's right, Paul, the good shit. When you absolutely positively have shit to do, then you should accept absolutely no substitutes. Now, I know some ads will feed you lines of bullshit, but here on Toast to Toast, we deliver nothing but the straight shit. And I will have you know that studies show that over 80% of people who try the good shit say that you would have to be completely batshit not to love this product. Now, I know a lot of people out there can't be bothered to give a shit, but for those who do, this offer is literally the shit. Do not be fooled by other products. This is just my own personal opinion and something not officially endorsed by the good shit, but frankly, their competitors are dog shit. And seeing people fall for their hortship makes me go absolutely positively apeshit on a weekly basis. But you know what? I don't want to be a shit disturber. So let me just say the good people working at the good shit really give a shit about their customers. When somebody's negative shit is getting you down, or you're stuck up shit creek and working hard every day with jack shit to show for it, then it's time to take a break and enjoy a little bit of the good shit. There's a lot of little chicken shits out there who are going to tell you to stay away from the good shit, but you would have to be a complete and total dipshit to listen to those kind of shitheads. You know what I mean? And you know what else, Paul? The good shit has authorized me to make a very special offer to the watchers of this stream. Anybody who uses the promo code Toast to Toast, that's TOAST, the number 2, TOAST, the next time that they are trying out the good shit will receive, at absolutely positively no extra charge, a shovel to help them deal with everyone else's shit. You heard that right. Absolutely free. So, Paul, do not walk, run to your nearest dispenser of quality shit today and grab some of that good shit. You'll be glad that you did. The good shit.
Well, shit.
Well, shit. What do you say to that?
But here's the thing
Yeah.
about the good shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people don't know about the good shit,
Mm-hmm.
they can just be
Right.
happy living their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you find out about the good shit. And that includes everyone here now. You all know about it now.
Yeah. You know, it's but the thing is, like, if all you've ever had is the mediocre shit, or if you've just been dealing with whatever shit life, hands you, you might not even realize the good shit is an option. And until you reach out and try it. And I think is what you were trying to say too, Paul. It's like, then you realize, then you're in another shit bracket, right?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That is the
Yeah.
thing is, and you can't always afford the good shit, or the good shit's not always available where you live.
That's right, Philly 3000. That is some deep shit. Paul and I are getting a little philosophical here. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you to the fine folks, and I hope the check clears.
Mm-hmm. Oh my, wow. And now we got shots fired in member chats.
We have a member chat. Dave,
Mm-hmm.
why are
Yeah.
you embarrassed of your chin? We're
Mm-hmm.
the only species, even among Homo, with an actual chin. Show it off.
I mean, if anyone remembers from, I believe it was last October, not no, last February. It was about a year ago from today, where I did have this beard shared off, and it was a horrible that there ain't much chin going on here. We'll keep this well hidden. Thank you very much. Yeah, no,
Dave's chin
not necessary.
is special. It's special. He's not just underappreciating. Just everyone see it. You gotta be.
you gotta. It's like
You gotta
no
earn
feet
it
for free, no chins for free.
That's right.
Uh, mm-hmm.
Dave's OnlyFans has chin pics.
Only Dave's. Yep, just pictures of the chin.
All right. Well, so
you missed out. That was good stuff.
Oh, Kip missed out on. Well, no one for punishment. No one should tell Dave or Kip about the sponsor because Kip doesn't deserve. Kip doesn't deserve to know about the sponsor because he's tardy.
About the stuff.
Shockingly on topic, says David M. Glines.
Yes, we get our regular baby Melzol.
That's right. Baby Melzol's first words were, "I want the good shit."
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I was thinking about Baby Melzol kind of about an hour ago.
Yep, the unofficial mascot of Toast to Toast, our official baby.
Yeah, that's right. So many aunts and uncles for Baby Melzol.
Absolutely. Like Baby Melzol is like Andor, got friends everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be able, no matter where life, through its many strange twistings and turnings, Paul, wherever Melzol ends up, you're gonna have a friend there. There's gonna be somebody. That's what I choose to believe.
Exactly. All right. Well, as we do on this show, we are here to hang out and to have fun, but we're also here to review and discuss and learn from. Primarily learn from. I would say. This is largely an educational show.
Yeah, the things they're scared to teach that they don't want you to know. They don't teach this in schools.
And in today's case, the Vatican.
And the Vatican, which is really the biggest.
But I know what I've done. I've
and we're playing bingo tonight.
I forgot to put the bingo link in the bingo link spot.
Hey everybody, click the bingo link.
Can you do that while I'm
I can, yes.
Because I may have closed that window where it had it.
I can do that. Uncle Paul and Uncle Dave. Heck yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing bingo night tonight.
There's a bingo link.
Awesome. So join us for bingo.
Don't talk to him, Michael. He's not one of us.
And I've already had a drink, so that works.
And I'm having one right now, so I'm going to count that.
All right. All right. So tonight we are learning about someone named Father Charles Moore. Now, what I know a couple things about Father Charles. One is that, well, Dave, he knows when we're all going to die.
Right. Okay.
So
Like
I'm not going to.
individually or as a species.
So some of us may die before the species dies, but he knows when the species. So
Yeah.
he doesn't specifically know when you and I are going, but he knows what our last possible day is.
Got it. Okay.
I'm not going to spoil it.
2012.
I'm not
sorry,
going to. It's not 2012. It's not
Okay,
2012.
okay.
I promise.
Good. Okay. I'm
But I'm not going to. But I've learned the trick on the YouTube, Dave, is you don't tell people right up front. You say, "Oh, you got to stick around to find out the day we're all gonna die." So there's that coming. The only other thing I know is that he got onto the Art Bell show because he was recommended highly from Sitchins. What's his name?
From Zacharias Sitchins.
Zacharias Sitchins recommended this fellow, and that's all that Art knew as well. He was just like, "Oh, well, Zacharias Sitchins said I should have you on, so here we go."
There's a good chance we're gonna get some Anunnaki chat tonight.
So that's what we know.
Yeah.
Shall we dive in?
I feel we should.
All right, off we go.
Okay, here we go. His name is Father Charles L. Moore, and I know he's somewhere in Central California.
It sounded a little like Charles Elmore, but that's fine. It's fine.
But
California, and I know that Zacharias Sitchin recommended that I have him on, and that's all I know. Here he is, Father Moore. Welcome.
Hello, Art.
Okay. Why do you think that Zacharias Sitchin would say I should talk to you?
Because I owe him money.
Of a dialogue that.
What's that?
Because I owe him money.
That's right. So it's kind of a pyramid scheme thing going where, free publicity.
Yeah, there you see.
Zacharias Sitchin and myself for sure.
He is the. It's like being invited on a big podcast these days. It's like being on the Joe Rogan or the Diary of a CEO. You made it.
You made it. Yeah. Jordan Peterson told me I should have you on.
In which we seem to understand each other with great accuracy, and I have been very grateful to Zachariah for providing me with some insights into where theology might have come from.
All right, let's back up. We'll get to that in a second. Could you tell us about yourself? Are you an active priest? Are you retired? What kind of priest were you? And so forth and so on. A little bit about you.
I was ordained in 1964, and I've been retired for a few years now officially, but I'm still working at it by having this meeting in my house that's very successful.
By way of record, this is from the year 1998, I believe, right? Yep.
Yeah.
November 1998. What were you going to say?
No, I did no research on this man.
Yes, no.
I know nothing about him. I suspect when I don't say nothing, I know a little bit because I read the guest synopsis on the Art Bell website and some of his notes, which is that he is in fact retired from being a priest at the behest of the Catholic Church.
I see.
I don't know.
I see. This was
feel like he's not so much retired as defrocked, and yeah, and now is just running the meetings. He's still working at it by running meetings out of his house. Which is
amazing because you may have heard famously, there's some stuff you can do as a priest and not get fired.
Yeah, but
that sometimes you just get transferred. But he got fired. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So I've heard some things from him. Something about like he thinks Jesus and Buddha are the same or something. I don't know. He's got some wacky beliefs. We'll say that things that don't jibe with traditional Catholicism. Yeah.
And
tomato,
right? Around, have ceremony will travel, and I go up to Montana, down to San Luis Obispo, and to some other places. I'm a lawyer also, and I went to Stanford, and I was in the Navy one time.
Okay.
So that's sort of my background.
Well, it's a pretty long way from that conservative background to an alliance with Zachariah Sitchin and the 12th planet and the Anunnaki and all the rest of it. So maybe
Anunnaki! We got it. We're like 90 seconds in.
We're 90 seconds in. I don't have it on mine.
Not on the card.
Mm-mm.
you can explain to all of us how that happened.
Well, I'd just like to make a phrase
I've got
first.
Nibiru Planet X. I'm going to take that off because that's the 12th planet. That's what he was talking about.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yep.
As introduction, it's the introduction of the gods, and this is what I call it, the introduction of the gods into the paradigm being the accepted view. And I have frequently thanked Zechariah for allowing me to have the information to insert the gods into the paradigm. And what that seems to do for me and for everybody I talk to, when they get it, all of a sudden all sorts of things make sense that never made sense before.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the most remarkable synthesis of what might be called secular history and scientific process and religious theory that I've ever found in my life.
When you insert the gods, you said.
Insert the gods into the paradigm. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Usually people are trying to take their God paradigm and figure out how science can gel with it, because the God paradigm comes first. Not like, well, we've got this scientific paradigm. You know what's missing, though? Gods.
We gotta stick some, just a couple gods.
How can we wedge some gods in here?
I got some.
Zachariah Sitchin said, "I got you."
Don't even, buddy. It's gonna be. Yeah.
I got you.
What's the thing? Barely a problem. Barely an inconvenience.
Barely an inconvenience.
Yeah. It's gonna be real hard. Barely an inconvenience.
Rosina with the super chat.
Yeah.
But Jesus met the Buddha and copied much of his message.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I'm sure. I'm betting this sounds like this paradigm may well accommodate that and not really flinch.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna be fine. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tick off my God box because that's come up already.
Absolutely.
A whole bunch. Yeah.
Okay, so we had a scientific paradigm that was drastically God-free, and he found a way to solve that.
How do you insert the gods?
Well, the gods, of course, play a big part in the historical view of the world by mankind, and they appear quite forcefully in the Bible. But they appear in the Bible as if they were mythological, or as if they were things of naught, as it is said.
I know some people who would differ. First of all, that you would say that the Bible has gods.
Yeah, the fact that you keep putting an S on that already is.
But also famously, all the people on my other channel, they're like, you know what sucks about the Bible? No one's supposed to take it serious.
Yeah.
Who can help us?
Who can help us? Well, Zachariah Sitchin can. You need to be taken seriously.
That's right.
You just get some advice from Zachariah.
Whatever this model is, it's not going to be fooling around like the Bible myths. I feel like we may have you and I might be converting tonight, Dave.
To whatever
this is.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah.
If this is the good shit, perhaps.
Yes, your ideas intrigue me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter. Yeah.
However, the Greek gods certainly play a big part in our memory of ancient cultures, and the English poets play on them a lot, as do the German philosophers. And these gods, of course, are looked upon as being mythological or perhaps psychological, and they are taken in those terms. What Zachariah Sitchin tells us is that they are real, and that they are as real as we are. And one must understand that these gods are not spelled with a capital G, but with a small one. I asked him a question one time. I said, Zachariah, is the God whom we worship the God whom the gods worship? He thought for a moment, and he said, well, yes, exactly. And then he wrote a book to prove it.
It's Azathoth, the blind idiot god at the center of reality. Everybody knows that.
Famously wrote that book that proved it.
Yeah, he famously wrote the book that proved it. Yep.
Yep. That's settled. Sure, it was a controversial idea back in 1998, but here in 2026,
it's settled fact.
It's settled fact.
So
there is a god that the other gods worship. Yep.
That's right, and that the Greek gods are as real as you and I.
Yes. Which, by the way, if you have what is it, mythological creatures discussed as something.
I guess that would work. Yeah. Go ahead and check that off.
Go ahead and check that
as
off.
It is stated in the Bible, is extremely consonant with being the God whom the gods worship. Now, putting that all together, of course, takes a little bit of deep.
Those other gods could have been the main god. They just lacked confidence, Dave.
Yeah.
But Yahweh, he knew his worth.
Yes.
Looking at your belief system, but in the final analysis, it simply verifies it and makes it more credible.
And so you find no conflict with what you have learned and what you now believe versus what you originally thought you believed as a complete story.
That's basically correct. However, when one does this, one has to look at one's creedal system and reevaluate it. Many of the favorite doctrines of the Catholic Church, for instance, turn out to mean something quite different in this context than what is usually accepted.
For a quick second, I thought he said adrenal system, not creedal system.
I also did. I'm like, is this a medical show suddenly? It's like,
what? Why would you? Oh,
I mean, you should get that checked, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah.
We're all over the place tonight.
Yeah.
And this process is greatly assisted. Also, one looks at it and one finds certain real problems about the origin of Christianity, for instance, which come into clear light under the auspices of there being a God.
There are many things about the Catholic Church that befuddle me somewhat. I'm not Catholic. My wife is.
It's really much closer than you think. As far as the Zodiac is concerned.
Yes.
The entire, let us take a simple thing about Judaism, which is basic to the whole thing, and that is the way the encampment of the Israelites was laid out by Moses in the desert, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Not only do each of the tribes of Israel have a zodiac sign assigned to them, the numbers being 12 in both cases.
Do they?
But that the arrangement...
Dr. Kemp, help us out with this.
Yeah, this is... I will admit it has been quite a number of years since I read the Pentateuch in any way, shape, or form, so I may be misremembering the Exodus.
Right, so famously, you sons of Levi... You shall be Aquarius.
Yes. Was there, and I'm like, hey, maybe.
And you sons of Jacob. Words. That's right. Yeah.
We need you to. You should have this crab for some reason. Don't worry about it.
I know. In the book it says we can't eat shellfish, but you will be represented by a shellfish that we can't eat.
Draw a lot. Whoever draws the short stick, you're the goat.
Okay, famously, because there are 12 signs of the Zodiac and 12 tribes of Israel, obviously one-to-one correlation.
Obviously. Yeah.
I
Just
thought
like there's a sign of the Zodiac for every egg in the carton in my fridge.
I thought he jumped really quick because Art was just like, I don't know if I like Catholicism. He says, whoa, let me just tell you about the Zodiac.
Yeah.
Oh,
in fact, you'll see. But, okay.
I think this is going to be a solid bingo night. I feel like we're all going to be
going to be
blackout bingo tonight.
Yeah. You know what? I realize now. I think I took Anunnaki out of the bingo because it never ever comes up. And then
tonight's the 90 seconds in.
Tonight. Yeah, we have it 5 times. Oh well.
arrangement of the zodiac in which the Ark of the Covenant pointed east to the equinoctial sunrise, and tribes went around in a sunwise circle, as the American Indians would say, from right around to left, in exact order of the zodiac, each tribe having its proper position.
The exact order of the... Okay, so the order of the zodiac is like, it's... Okay, it goes like around. So like, is that... Are clocks in the order of the zodiac? Is... Like what?
So they were doing some kind of synchronized dance in circles?
I'm vague. Get other people, but like when it does talk about how the camp's laid out, if I remember right, like when they're moving, it's like, okay, you have this, and it's like, and then you have like your various tribes. So he's saying the tribes are arranging like, well, the tribes are just like arranging in camps like around in a circle. I guess it's
around the Ark of the Covenant, around their traveling tabernacle.
It's like, again, there's no zodiac correlation between anybody. So the fact that the tribes are just camping, I guess it's going to be in the way of the zodiac, because everything is, since there's no, like, what are you even talking about? What representation of the zodiac? Because there's a bunch of different ones. You're just kind of like the one that you get on your fucking Chinese food menu. Like, what are we talking about here, buddy?
Well, no, because theoretically, like, astronomical isn't there a set order for the 12? Is there not? Maybe there's not.
Well, there is. Like, it's based on the calendar. It's not anything to do with like where they actually are.
Right, but from his perspective, if you arbitrarily picked one of them as the start point,
yeah,
you could one could come up with a code here and then figure it out that
Well, I guess like if you decide, I guess that's the place where this is how you assign the signs in the zodiac.
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying, is that that's how he mapped it out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair. Then I take it back. All his system makes sense.
This is basically giving you the code, Dave. This is the cipher, as it were.
Versus Celsius, right here is what this is. Right. You get what I'm saying? Some guy just wrote things on a stick and was like, yeah, this is where the water freezes. I guess it freezes at like, whatever was it, -32. It boils at whatever. Whereas somebody else actually took the stick and measured these things as like, this is 0, this is 100, and then we'll tick everything in between. Just randomly, it's like, I don't know. I guess we start here at this point. Yep, that's nailed it. -32.
Nailed it.
So there's apparently a lot of misconceptions about Catholicism, and so you embrace the thought that long ago this 12th planet, Nibiru, did come by, that in fact there was a race called the Anunnaki, or whatever you want to call them, I suppose it doesn't matter, a race of extraterrestrials who intervened with a creature here at that time, produced, I suppose, you certainly believe, by God with a big G, and intervened genetically to produce what we are today. And they did this in order to mine gold.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
I forgot about Zachariah Sitchin. That's right.
So Art goes through all that. One sentence more ridiculous than the next.
Yeah.
And his response is, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
So what you're saying is there's a big G god.
Brockman, has
all the small G gods. Go ahead.
Simpsons, whenever Kent Brockman has the professor expert on in the news, and the professor, without knowing any of the details, just say it's time for the citizens of Springfield to crack open their neighbor's head and feast on the goo inside. Yes, Kent. Yes, I would.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So and they're doing it to mine gold.
Where's the brain cramp? There it is.
Oh, yes. We do have a member chat.
Member chat. There are 12 hours on a clock, and it's a circle. So time is obviously the Zodiac. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. I think it's Sagittarius 30 right now.
Well, it depends where you are in the world, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Newfoundland, it's a different time.
I find that utterly
It's Sagittaricorn in Newfoundland.
That's right.
consistent.
Please.
Genesis, which of course is a very popular book in the Bible.
Yes, it is.
Genesis has a bibliography.
It's popular. Popular
It
one.
has a bibliography.
Bibliography.
Now, when people say, what? How could Genesis has a bibliography? It's the first book. Well, of course, Genesis is not the first book. It's just about beginnings. But it has a bibliography which is contained in the book itself. And the bibliography is of books, most of which are lost. One of them is called the Book of Noah, for instance. And there are other books, the Book of Jubilees, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Jubilees!
Now, the Book of Enoch. Now, these books...
We were talking about I can't believe my two streams are clashing like this. We were talking about the Book of Jubilees on the other stream.
Yes.
Also as if it was a real thing.
It's too bad Vishanti's not here. Vishanti loves her some Book of Jubilees.
The big
We should
deal.
point. People might not realize. Did we talk about it? Say that you already did a whole other stream, and now,
That's
like
correct.
a trooper,
I-
like a champ.
Nearly 3 hours on the other stream.
Yeah, and now here to put up with me and my nonsense for, let's all be honest, another at least 3 hours.
That's
because
right. It's a big day.
We can't not. That's a big day. We appreciate your glorious sacrifice, Paul. Will be remembered. Yeah.
About Zechariah Sitchin is how we got started on all of this.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I was only allowed to drink coffee and water, so this
Yeah.
is an improvement. Actually, there probably wasn't a requirement, but I thought, maybe we should save it.
And one of the phrases in it was translated from Hebrew into English, so he was doing it in Hebrew. The English translation was, "For the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and took as many as they wished to wife." Now, curiously,
Producing the Nephilim.
Means they were boinking, Dave.
Is that what? I don't think they meant that. Not in olden times. You didn't do.
It's
that
like,
kind of
it's
thing.
like that Beatles song, "I Want to Hold Your Hand," also about boinking.
Oh my goodness. Not Paul. I didn't. But and this I meant Paul McCartney.
I understood.
feel betrayed.
I understood.
feel betrayed. Yeah. Oh my goodness. We could have this is it. We could have, if we had known better, we could have had Kip Davis on to actually speak. Is that what the translation? He's pulling out translations of Genesis Bible verses out. We need somebody who can actually speak to the Hebrew versus the English for these things.
We have a super chat, Dave.
Yes, from Ninjestra.
For no reason, please look up
Go ahead.
Ophiuchus Zodiac. Is that what?
It could be Ophiuchus or Ophiuchus. I would say probably Ophiuchus Zodiac.
I'm going to let someone else test that before I'm not going to do that on the screen.
My Greek ain't what it used to be.
But thank you for the tip. Probably some very valuable educational learning on that.
And little happy Halo Angel Man in there too. Little smiley Angel Man. That's right. That super chat. So,
and that means that it's innocent and pure.
That's right. And also, Paul,
that
Dave? Means that Ninjestry wants each of us to have a blessed day. Hashtag. Have a blessed day.
I think you're reading into it.
I don't think so. I don't see how you could read that any other way. In fact, I believe that we could found a religion on this.
You think the children are the future too, so what do you know?
Well, I don't have any of my own, so it's easy for me not to I only see my nephews and nieces on rare occasions, so I can have rose-colored glasses.
Why isn't it bringing up the... Oh, I gotta fix a thing. All right.
Are you drunk? Is that what's happening?
Well, those are unrelated.
Yes, huh? I would like it word for word.
Nephilim.
Nephilim, yes.
Yes, Nephilim.
And the word sons of God was translated from the Hebrew word Nephilim. Well, he said to the Rabbi, the word Nephilim doesn't mean sons of God, does it? Doesn't it mean those who came down? The rabbi said, yes. Well, why do you translate it sons of God then? He said, don't ask questions, just memorize it.
Yeah.
Which is a typical, might say, Catholic answer.
Well, I as a child went to Lutheran church, and I got similar answers until one day, when I asked too many questions, they asked me to just not come back next Sunday.
That's what they do to folks like that. And the thing is, of course, that it is the questioner who cares about the answer.
Oh, yes.
And people who don't ask questions probably don't care about either the question or the answer. And so therefore what's happening in that situation is that the theologian or whoever it is that's teaching you is defending themselves against being brought up against their own doubts and ignorance. And their refusal to answer or to be questioned is a sign that they don't know what they're talking about.
Had you expressed these beliefs when you were active and you had a parish and so forth and so on, would you have been removed?
No.
Yes.
I went to
I guess
Well, unless he was fired for something else. Maybe maybe he was
That's
doing
true.
stuff that was worse than this.
See, here's the thing, to touch on your earlier point, Paul. The Catholic Church and other churches like covering up things where they can be sued. If you're just going around saying there are multiple gods and they came to Earth to mine gold, no, they don't mind. they'll give you the old Evo for that one and be like, don't listen to this crackpot. He's leading you all astray. So that I feel is that's the line. That
I see.
Yeah.
But if you might get sued, that's just a...
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Right.
a friend of mine who went through the seminary with me, who is now bishop in a Northern California diocese.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, he's my best friend in the seminary. And I sat down with him and explained a good deal of this. And afterwards, he rocked back in his chair and said, wow. He said, Charlie, you've really been doing your homework, haven't you?
Did he?
But you understand, said he, I couldn't speak publicly of the...
Say that?
Yes, he did, sir. And that's just about where we are on this matter. I mean, you know what I call this particular theology? I call it the theology of radical conservatism.
Do you think that this belief or this knowledge is...
It's so conservative.
Wow. Okay.
Radical conservatism.
I did not expect that. There you go.
held tightly within the Vatican?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
Yeah, very much so. And we're going to see it breaking forthwith. By talking to you this night on the radio nationwide, maybe the opening shot of a tremendous celebration.
There have been, Father, a couple of interesting news items from the Vatican with respect to unidentified flying objects being, in fact, real. And so there's been a few things like that. You've almost got to wonder if they're not sort of preparing the way for more information to follow.
Well, if you want to go on to that for a minute, let's deal with the June 30th phenomenon.
Oh, a wonderful man, a good friend.
Isn't he a great guy?
Great guy, yes.
Absolutely. And his recent book, The Mars Mystery, is really a bombshell. I noted.
Are we supposed to know who wrote that?
No, I mean, no, but I don't, it might be Zachariah Sitchin, and they might still be talking about him.
Oh, maybe.
But it also might be, who's the guy? We did a show about him, but then it was kind of boring. The guy he was like all about, well, there's things on the face on Mars and pyramids on Mars and structures on Mars and all this. And he has a couple books about it. And Hoagland?
Okay.
Is that a Richard Hoagland thing? See, now I'm getting them mixed up, but whatever.
Okay, fair enough.
We're using too many pronouns, the long and the short of it.
Whoever wrote the June 30th thing is a good guy. All right.
Yeah.
That his date, which he supports with considerable scientific evidence, to look out for what I call the bolide. All right. My theological statement of that, the Noah flood is a bolide hit. The Earth was hit by some object from outer space that caused what was called the Noah flood. And the history of bolides in the world is...
Okay. So the Noah flood
Mm-hmm.
is what happened when an asteroid hit the Earth. So like the dinosaur event, I guess.
Well, but see, he didn't say asteroid. It's bolide.
But what's the difference?
A bolide does not. It explodes in the atmosphere. It doesn't actually impact.
Oh, I see. But that caused the whole world to flood, did it?
Well, I apparently I'm
Okay, fair enough.
I'm a little curious exactly. I suppose if it was a big enough explosion, there'd be a shockwave and things. Graham Hancock, that's what I'm thinking of. Thank you. Thanks, Flava. I don't know if that's who they were talking about or Zachariah Sitchin still, but yes, but apparently a bolide. Yeah. Go ahead and tick incorrect science.
Yeah.
Just as science as fact or whatever. Yeah.
I already checked that off a while ago, stating there was like the stating conjecture as fact or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very well recounted by Graham Hancock.
How would Noah have had time to prepare the ark if it was a bolide? It would have.
See, Art found a hole. Wait,
Ooh.
if it was a bolide,
Yeah.
How could you quickly build an ark? Come on, don't be silly. Don't be silly.
Come surely without warning.
Well, the entire story is recounted in the records of ancient Sumer with great precision.
Okay.
The name of the person is Utnapishtim. That's Noah's name in Sumerian. Okay.
All right.
Utnapishtim was a king of Erech, which is one of the cities of Sumer. And they knew that it was going to strike and create havoc, and that they would have to evacuate the planet in order to avoid being killed. And the question was whether they were going to save the people or not. But the chief god Enlil, who usually comes on as El, decided against saving the human race because they'd been so messed up by the interventions of a certain bad god named Hazazel. And so consequently, he decided not to warn them. However, the story is that Enlil's brother Enki, who was a friendly person toward humankind, decided that he would save somebody. And so he called the Pishtim into the sacred precinct behind the rood screen and told him to come into the temple at that night, and that he might hear something of interest to him.
So this all, of course, is in the Sumerian.
Account of the Great Flood or their Great Flood.
Yeah. So far, he's actually not being crazy. Josh could even be here. Like, all right, fine. Or Megan. Yeah.
Yes, it's a good point out, Paul. You have UFO in your card, and you should definitely go.
I checked that one off. It was. We got here. Did we get a member chat? Yeah, there was a member chat from.
Yes, from Ninjester.
And we also got this one from Michael Mazaras.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, Ninjester had one?
No.
Oh, there it is. That was actually super chat. Proper super chat. Yes. Please ask the sponsor if Wes is huffing from them.
They're responsible. They don't discuss somebody else's shit.
That's a play on a funny name.
Yeah. But that would not be responsible. You partake of the good shit. That's between you and them. They don't go sharing that shit with anybody.
WebArt 3D with their member chat. I'm marking off angels. That's probably fair. I think we had sons of men coming down to do the deed with the ladies. So, yep. Yeah, go ahead there. Mark off angels. Normally I'm a stickler, but it seems like, man, it's gonna be a busy night.
I think I got a decent shot tonight. I got some good ones. Yeah.
And there he told the root screen that night about the coming catastrophe, and that the entire world was going to be destroyed either by fire or flood, and that therefore he should prepare himself a boat. And he said, by the way, root screen, I brought the plans for this boat along.
Does the boat help if it's destroyed by fire? He said, well, destroyed by fire or flood, which means like it's a last minute decision. I'm not sure a boat is that helpful if God's destroying the world in a fire. But...
I mean, depends what the boat's made of, I guess.
I guess.
It doesn't say that it's not asbestos.
What you definitely don't want to do is make it out of tinfoil, because then you're literally cooked.
Yeah.
Here with you so that you, root screen, can at least escape.
And you made it with the shiny side facing in. You couldn't couldn't have fucked this up more. Like, oh
This is the last bacon anyone's ever going to get.
yeah.
Yeah.
And leaving, of course, the fish team came up and snatched the plans and went to work and built the boat, and the rest follows. In other words, saw it coming, and the gods gave the warning.
All right.
That's what
Dan,
the Sumerians say.
Dan in Palm Springs, California, asks the obvious. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, I thought we were going straight to calls. This is
Nope.
probably a fax.
Yeah,
is-
I think Art's got a fax.
Please ask the good father how long he was a priest, and was he asked to retire?
I've been a priest, and I still am, since 1964. And as I was ordained in the Diocese of Monterey,
Answer the question.
and I was not asked to retire.
Okay.
I retired in the normal course.
Hmm.
So there is no breach between me and the hierarchy.
That in itself is shocking, and that you would have asked a bishop
Seems
about, told
unlikely.
him all of this, and he would have simply acknowledged that you're correct, but it can't be talked about. There are many secrets held within the walls of the Vatican, aren't there?
There certainly are.
I have interviewed another Catholic priest frequently, whose name I bet you're familiar with, Father Malachi Martin.
Oh, yes. I've read his
Malachi
book,
Martin.
Windswept House, with great interest.
There are some pretty serious indictments in that book.
I would say.
I don't want to push you into an opinion you don't want to give, but you haven't been hesitant so far.
I don't disagree with Malachi Martin about anything he says.
You know,
He's added to my store of knowledge, but I wouldn't question his veracity.
Father Martin is and has been, as well as an advisor to two popes very close to the Vatican, an exorcist.
Yes.
Popes are traditionally very close to the Vatican.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do
Geographically.
you believe that
For sure.
people, in fact, are possessed by evil, by the devil?
Well, simple answer to that is yes. This opens up.
Tick.
But also, I can't believe I'm thinking this, but like, no. I don't want any run-of-the-mill exorcist stories tonight. That's boring.
It's boring.
Boring. I get back to...
Well,
Mhm.
I don't want to concern you, but I'm a Jesus and a Bible code / numerology away from taking this thing home, and I feel like those are strong.
I feel like those
contenders.
are strong. Like there's... Oh, I got the Satan. I should have the Satan
You
marked
got,
up.
you got the Satan. Yeah, oh yeah, you took the Satan off.
Yep.
Is
Yeah,
it
you're looking good.
Yeah.
Tonight we may need to go to blackout for winners because
This might be what was her name? The crazy woman. That was my favorite stream, I think, since Mel's Hold. Just increasingly insane. You can't
The
see
whole
stars from
field.
space art. Everybody knows that. What? What?
I forgot about that. That's pretty funny.
Which we may not have time to get into, which is about what I call shamanism. And to put it plainly, this is the definition of a shaman I've learned to work with. A shaman is a person who discovers within their own heart the knowledge that everything in the universe is made of spirit, and the function of a shaman is to deal with spirits, good and bad.
Was Jesus...
That would make a lot of girls at the mall shamans.
Oh, I almost spit all over my computer.
You know, I think we're made of spirit. I think all of this is made of spirit. You're a shaman, Cindy.
A lot of shamans in the world selling carnelian jewelry.
That's right.
the Son of God?
Not in the way people usually mean that.
I asked Zachariah that the other night, and he said, Art, that is something that I have yet to deal with. I'm going to write a book about it.
Oh, good.
But I don't have my answer for you right now.
Yes. Well, Jesus is, in my opinion, is someone I would call a man.
I feel like him saying Jesus probably means that you can check off Jesus.
Yes. Yeah, fair enough.
And the necessary comparison to
We
Jesus
got,
is
We got a bingo, apparently, Paul.
We do.
Which doesn't surprise me even a little bit.
No, you check it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it. What's your card number there, Gord? Yeah, that Jesus box checked.
Siddhartha Bodhisattva. And the parallel between the life of Jesus and the life of Buddha is absolutely astounding.
It is, yes.
And I've gone to India to check it all out on site.
Remember 20 minutes ago when someone sent us a super chat thinking that that was going to be a hot take, controversial thing to say. Ooh, what if Jesus met Buddha? It's like we're so far beyond that now.
We're so far beyond that.
He's bringing it up, and you and I aren't even reacting. Fine.
Oh yeah, yep. Sure enough, we got the mythological creatures discussed as scientific fact, ancient prophecies, the have a drink space, which I assume Gord's had a drink. Structures on Mars / the moon, and the Nibiru Planet X. That's a bingo right there.
That's I think our earliest
new record. Record. How far into the show are we?
Snuck it at the 58-minute mark, Dave. We not even.
I meant of the audio stream. How much?
15 minutes, but
15. There you So within 15 minutes,
got a full bingo.
To go for black. That's gonna that'll be the thing. So congratulations, anybody who has card number 14. There's only 30 of them, so sometimes they get duplicated.
And it just keeps getting more marvelous all the time. And for instance, the idea of bodhisattva, the basic statement of Buddha as bodhisattva, which occurs at the time of his passing at the age of 80, is, I am with you all days, even to the end of the world, which is exactly what Jesus had to say. And the idea is that bodhisattva is the point where the man who is enlightened, the enlightened Buddha, becomes the enlightened spirit who chooses to remain to assist those in the process of illumination who choose to ask him for that assistance. And it seems to me that this is precisely the same function that Jesus performs. So much so that I have this saying that I go by: Jesus grafted a Buddhist shoot on a Jewish root.
Father Martin says that he knows the third secret of Fatima.
Yes, I know.
And he will always not tell.
Did you have a thought, or you're just chuckling?
Just that he's like, well, I have no break with the church. There's the leadership and I have no disagreements. This is fine. It's like, yes, this sounds very orthodox.
Sure
with your
does.
ultra conservative, well, what did he call it? Something yeah.
Oh yeah, there was it was something conservative.
Yeah, like the neoconservative, something conservative. Yes. I'm just pouring a drink. Everybody.
He will say something like,
I need another drink too.
It's worse than the worst you can imagine.
That's right, it is. I know what it is.
It was.
Yes.
Oh, how? No. Something like what? I'm sorry, I missed that.
It was released.
In June.
Yeah. No, that goes back to Graham Hancock.
30th of June.
1999.
Oh, it was Graham
No,
Hancock.
I did not know that. You're giving me all kinds of new information here, and I can only deal with one at a time.
Okay.
The third secret.
So he said the date, Dave.
Yes. June 30th.
June 30th, 1999. We're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die. And then it confirmed it was Graham Hancock.
I hate to break it to you, so everyone, make your plans accordingly.
Yeah.
That in June 30th, 1999,
we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Well,
now
I'm glad I don't own a house.
That's right.
Seems like property is a pretty poor investment in that circumstance.
It's time to start running up your credit cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Suckers.
The point is, the third secret of Fatima is there will be a bolide hit on June 30th, 1999.
Oh, in other words, we could perhaps have a repetition of
the flood,
the Great Flood, or it could hit land and
a firestorm.
And a firestorm.
He keeps using that word.
Graham had made it.
I don't think it means what he thinks it means.
Fire?
No, bolide.
Oh, bolide. Again, but once again, it's either going to be water, or it's going to be flooded or burned, and that's tough to prepare for both.
Yeah.
A prediction of a June 30th hit of a bolide.
Very much so, in the Mars mystery.
June 30th.
30th. You know that meteorite shower we just had?
Yes.
That's the front or back side, as you might look at it, of the same shower that will hit us on June 30th.
You're laying so much new stuff on me here that I'm having to try and assimilate it as best I can. Now I'm going to have to get hold of Graham, obviously.
I read his book shortly after it came out, and I found the information about the third secret of Fatima shortly thereafter. And the fact that both the third secret of Fatima and Graham Hancock's prediction predict exactly the same date kind of raised my hair up a little bit.
Sure.
Now, the thing about that is,
Now, Paul,
Yes, Dave.
out of curiosity, we may not get the answer tonight, but let's just play a little game here. We're gonna have a little fun hypothetical between you.
All
and I.
right.
What research do you suppose
Yes.
was done to convey the third secret of Fatima? That how was he able to glean this secret information?
Well, it seems like this guy read it in a book from Graham.
No, well,
So you
he
mean-
said the book from Graham correlated or like backed up. He's like, oh, this also is the same information, but that's not what revealed it to him. Somehow he has, this just confirmed his independent research. Do you feel perhaps that this was this insight was achieved in an altered state, if we want to say it that way?
Well, how else are you going to get the true knowledge if you?
I mean, maybe
Because-
he found
Because the trouble is, people in the regular state, they just read it and they don't get it.
right. Maybe
So
he
you-
just found some old ancient texts. You know, maybe there's a secret door in one of the Dead Sea caves. You know,
Correct. Yeah, it could be.
just like in a dungeon, right?
Mhm.
You pulled the statue down, and the secret door at the back opened up, and that's where he found the real scroll, the good shit, the real
good shit.
scrolls.
That's where.
Yeah, it was all back there. Yeah.
Uh, or probably in a dream. Sometimes, one of the gods will come and like give you the secret code to the key you need to decide and interpret and decipher.
Right.
What's plainly visible to everyone else, but you now with this extra bit of information, it reframes the whole thing.
What's this guy's name again?
Moore?
Father Charles Moore. That's his name. Yes. Father Charles Moore.
Chuck Moore.
Chuck Moore, who's also a lawyer, apparently.
And
Thrown out there.
was
Was in the Navy.
I was in the Navy once. Like, well,
Yeah,
most people are in the Navy
Once.
just once.
Mhm.
Hmm.
the word bolide, which I use so frequently here, is actually Nostradamus' word. And he predicts the bolide.
Fucking A, man. This guy is a. Oh my goodness.
Mr. Notre Dame. All
All
right.
right, so the bolide apparently does not mean the same thing to me. It means to me
Nope.
and the good people at Oxford or Webster's. Yeah, Merriam-Webster's.
I don't have a very good card for tonight.
No,
Hmm.
you know.
On July 6, 1999.
Who
That's the
released
suck, man. I don't know
the
what to
third
tell you.
secret?
Vatican.
The Vatican did.
Oh,
That's what I
How could
understand.
The Vatican released the third secret.
that's what I understand.
Did they discuss at all what the first two secrets were?
No, probably you could look at.
I think they either didn't discuss it or I missed it. Yeah.
they don't think they haven't discussed it. They're taking it as known.
Right.
Yeah.
Those ones everyone knows. What not everyone knows is the third secret
Yeah.
of the June 30th, 1999.
Yeah.
Do you actually have the text of it?
I got it in a sort of a news flash, and I haven't been able to track it down further than that either. But it was in some kind of
I got it in a news flash.
It was in some kind. He was just about to say, what is this?
publication that came out, and there it was. That's why it's more terrible than anything you can imagine.
Okay.
Well, that
Well, you know what, Paul? Turns out
That's tough to argue with.
I significantly overestimated.
His research methodology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either
You
Ancient
thought
Ed-
he was out on some spirit quest in the jungle,
yeah.
eating
Or the
exotic
beginning-
mushrooms.
Yeah, he was an
Nope.
astral traveler.
He was,
or that he
was
had found some ancient secret document that no one else had access
that's right.
to. No, it was some kind of flyer, some
So it was-
mimeograph.
Yeah, I was at my local Radio Shack, and there on the counter.
I was at my Kinko's, and there was this Vatican fanzine that someone just printed off and left for free on the counter.
And there it was,
And,
right in print.
There was.
Haven't been able to track it down since, but yeah.
Would virtually end life.
Yes, it's a life-extinguishing event. Graham Hancock, in his book, The Mars Mystery, says that these life-extinguishing events have occurred every 30 million years within the last 4.5 billion of the planet's existence.
Now, I have some sympathy with that point of view because, of course, there is the dialogue between those who believe in creation and those who believe in evolution. And I don't see the process of evolution underway, though I'm here for a short time and may not notice. I tend to believe that we go through periods of creation and destruction, and that evolution as we know it, particularly as you look back on it, there are jumps that are unaccountable,
right?
Occurred at times of creation or destruction and then creation again.
That's right. That's exactly the way I view it. The thing is that we are living in a shooting gallery, and you look around at the other planets, you can plainly see that bolide hits are the order of the day. It's what the frequency is that we don't know.
Okay, so fair enough. So he's just using bolide as a synonym for asteroid. Good enough.
Although for a first on this show, we've been doing this for a few years now. I don't know. We do what, 5 shows a week?
Yeah, roughly. I mean, it depends. Holiday weeks.
Holidays, yeah. So anyway, this is the first time anyone has used the word frequency correctly, because he doesn't know with what frequency the bolides will hit us.
Yeah,
is actually a correct use of the word. So for that,
yes,
well done.
He's an educated man, Paul.
That's right.
Yeah, I do also love this, like that there are semi-regular extinction events in the fossil record, which I think you and I would both agree that does actually.
Correct.
But he seems to think it's like, what's because we're in a shooting gallery, there's always that. It's like, well, but a lot, like, there's a lot of non-asteroid related.
Yes.
Like probably most of them, the worst ones certainly are not have anything to do with anything, hitting Earth. That's just so, whatever.
And especially even if there was one 30 million years, like it was the 65 million ago one, we're pretty sure it was an asteroid.
Yeah.
If there was one 30 million years ago, we don't know about it, but also probably not an asteroid.
But probably not an asteroid. Yeah.
We have
I also love the frequent. I mean, there's a lot of people believe this. It's just kind of like a popular, right? That the what is it? The creation, the dinosaur killing one.
The Yucatan Peninsula.
Yeah.
Chicxulub.
Whatever the event. Everyone's like, that was like the greatest extinction in Earth history. It's like, oh no.
Oh yeah, no, that wasn't.
No, it's not even close. No, no.
That one didn't even really manage to kill us. There were the couple mammals snuck through on that one.
Yep, absolutely.
We have a member chat from Olivia Williams, Purple Fairy.
Hello, Olivia.
Is art
Paul, did you know Olivia Williams has been a member for 24 months?
Wow. That's almost
2 years.
That's almost 2 years.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. We round that up to a dozen. That's a long time.
You're not wrong.
So under the impression he saw a creation event.
Is that under the impression he saw a creation? Yeah, he saw one. He didn't see any evolution.
What Art sees in his chair in the corner, that doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with anything happening on the radio. If you see a creation event and it happened to enjoy watching creation events, that's your private business, and I'm not here to comment on that. I don't think it's right for any of us to do either.
And Graham Hancock,
Art and his wife and their creation partner.
And that's right.
you exactly why these bolide hits hit at that frequency of 30 million years, which you might be interested to know. And the idea is that the sun...
That's just such a, think of how many cooler dinosaurs there would be without extinction events. Instead, we just have Dapper. For a more thorough explanation of what cool dinosaurs might exist had there not been an extinction event, I highly recommend everybody find and read a copy called Neozoic, which thoroughly explores this topic and has some really cool dinosaurs. So,
Because,
you know, yeah.
Chicks with swords and dinosaurs.
Chicks with swords and dinosaurs.
It's about
available in trade
space,
paperback, probably somewhere. I don't know if that's still
Amazon, I'm sure, and Comixology, if that's a thing. I don't know.
Comixology, definitely. Amazon, I'm not as sure about, honestly. Maybe.
Actually, last I checked, there was it was very, very expensive.
But people still were selling.
Yeah, because people were selling. But I think red5comics.com, actually, it was reprinted. So, should be able to get copies.
Speed of the Earth, well, one of them is 1,000 miles an hour, you know, around its axis. The other one is 60,000 miles an hour.
So this is not, for public consumption. So keep it.
What are we talking about now?
Keep it on the down low, Dave. No.
Yeah.
So there was a Red 5 Comics comic that became a movie. It is doing remarkably well on Amazon.
Yes.
In every country that isn't Canada.
Yeah, because I mean, there's no reason anyone in Canada who isn't friends or related to you would have heard about this movie.
It's not. It has yet to be legally available in Canada.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Did I tell you I have a Bluray?
Oh yeah, so you can get a Blu-ray, but anyway, so it's done remarkably well.
States, but yeah.
But it's so people are a little bit baffled that it's been doing so well in a lot of other countries.
Yeah.
To the extent where the agent says, people are talking again.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What? You never know, Dave. There might be more because I don't know what.
Because it turns out, money happens. Money
happens. So that was unexpected. I mean, it's just who knows. Sometimes the agents, they like to talk you up, but
around the sun in its yearly course. The other one is, I believe, 360,000 miles an hour, which is the speed of the sun going around the Milky Way. And the thing is, though, as the sun moves around the Milky Way, it does not move in a plane like a planet, but rather follows a dolphin-like course, going up and down in a sine wave, like a dolphin. But anyway, as it goes up...
Is that correct?
I don't think so, but I don't...
Someone in the chat, let me know. Does our sun, does our solar system...
Does the sun move
in a sine wave?
I can't see how it.
That doesn't.
Would that an orbital?
That's not something gravity normally does, but okay.
I also feel like 360,000 kilometers an hour relative to galactic center is actually.
It seems very slow.
It's very. I feel like it's very slow. We actually move quite a bit faster.
Down, it passes through the spiral arms of the Milky Way, in which the matter is much more dense than above or below. And the period between the peak and valley of any wave is 30 million years. And when you look at the geologic record, Graham Hancock says, we have such a life-extinguishing event every 30 million years that is no doubt caused by the sun passing through the arms of the Milky Way.
So... Anyway, so I'm seeing.
Well, there you go. The solar system does not move in a flat, straight line, but rather bobs up and down through the plane of the galactic
bobbing
system.
motion. Yeah.
completing these oscillations roughly every 60 million years. Well,
so he's wrong about how many million years it is, and
I'll be
wrong about
dipped.
how fast it is.
No, he is actually right about how many it is, because so if it takes 60 million years to do a complete oscillation, you would pass through the arm every 30 million.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
See?
he is actually right about that. See,
As
so
always,
I'm glad neither of us were straight up like, this is
we
bullshit.
didn't that's why we didn't hang our hats on that thing.
Maybe, yeah.
As always,
Mhm.
we've all accidentally learned something.
That should be a bit for closing. We need like a little graphic screen. What did we accidentally learn today?
I assure you this wasn't intentional, but
we did not intend any accurate or significant information to be passed on to you. And Paul and
we
would
apologize.
Like to apologize
That's
on
right.
behalf of Toast to Toast for this factually correct information that has accidentally been presented to you, our very valued and dear viewers. Yeah. Rest assured, we will not rest in our efforts.
Assured, that's right.
No truths
we promise that next week we will scrub the show in advance.
We'll scrub the show in advance to make sure we're only talking about how you can't see stars in space. And then sometimes if you put dead seals, sheep in holes, they come back as with seal creatures,
cancer curing weird babies,
baby seal things, demons.
What Graham said. The original flood, the story of Noah and the ark.
Yes.
There was then intervention when a bolide was headed our way. What do you anticipate or know might occur this time? In other words, will there be yet another intervention?
Well, I think that's the promise. I think this is what the fundamentalists call the rapture, that whenever this happens, somebody mounts a rescue effort. That seems to be exactly what it's about. The thing is, though, that in the former...
And so what we have learned applies to our life today. God has a lot to say in his book. You see, you know that God's word is for everyone. Now that our song is done, we'll take a look. I have brain cells dedicated to that.
I was at my job. So this is an office run by adults.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know how it came up. Somewhere, someone did something, made something about a hairbrush.
Oh, okay.
Comment. And I went, where is my hairbrush? Oh, where? And then like 6 or 7 other people in the office were like, over there. It's like, then a certain age group. And some of them are not people who were raised in church. But it was just enough of a
cultural zeitgeist
that, some of that, if you were a certain age in the 90s.
Silly Songs with Larry. Cracked your consciousness.
There are quite a few VeggieTales songs I could still easily sing. They wrote some earworms. They
sure did. Yeah. Back when Vischer was in charge. Not once Sony bought it.
No, corporate whores ruined it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a super chat from Cheshire 3600.
Yes.
Astrobiology is a real science that sounds fake. Yeah,
that is true.
It does sound fake.
It does sound fake. Yep.
Yeah.
But is in fact real.
That has described virtually every job I've ever had. It isn't really a job, but it sounds fake.
It sounds fake. Yeah. I worked in a car wash. Olivia Williams, Purple Fairy. Beat me up, Scotty the Rapture. But yes, so another good point. I love when he threw it like, this is, those fundamentalists would call this the Rapture. And I'm like, I feel like once again, this is why people think that maybe you were forcibly ejected from the church, because I think you would find most, not just the hard edge fundamentalists, most would say, is there going to be a rapture? Oh yeah, there's a rapture, right?
Well,
Like that's a thing that's going to happen. It's and the fundamentalists certainly wouldn't say it has anything to do with aliens or
no.
UFOs. That'll get you hanging. Yeah, don't go bringing that up.
The time of the flood, whenever the bolide hits the sea, as in the Deep Impact, the movie, whenever it hits the sea, there are these huge tidal waves.
Thank you for that visual. By the way, we couldn't have imagined. That's not for Deep Sea. Deep Impact, the movie. Anyway,
I did like
the destruction in the flood was not basically caused by the 40 days and 40 nights of rain, but by huge, excuse me, by huge tidal waves that eventuated off Antarctica where the bolide hit, and came up the Indian Ocean into the funnel of the Persian Gulf and poured out over into Central Asia. Now, this is what happens when a bolide hits the sea. If a bolide hits the land, however,
is this describing what happened last time, or that's what's going to happen this time?
That's what happened in Noah's flood.
Okay, but the geography, according to most flood geologists, that's not like we were in more of a Pangea state at that point.
At Noah's time? Well,
yeah, Noah's time.
I mean, but those are crackpots, not scientists like this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite cope mechanisms of young Earth creationism. Is they did decide at one point that it was better to accept plate tectonics.
Right.
Okay, we should accept plate tectonics. All right, but the Earth is still only 6,000 years old, so they were trucking those plates.
Oh yeah,
we're going at race car speeds.
I mean, things speed up and slow. Paul, have you not ever seen something speed up and slow down?
I know, right? That's exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if we're being honest, you probably saw that today.
Probably.
Somewhere in your life. Right?
Probably my heart.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Things speed up and slow down. So
right.
To assume that the continents, the tectonic plates do not speed up and slow down. Like, why would these rules apply to everything except tectonic plates?
Well, no, and right, yeah. So, but that's not the part that is.
You sound really crazy right now, Paul. You sound really stupid.
But still, you have at some point they had to go. And if you're saying they slow down and speed up, that's right. Why am I trying to explain this?
I don't know why you're legitimately trying to argue this point with me.
You see, all I know is that by their plate tectonics math, it would have like melted the Earth, like the heat that would have been created. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
What just happened here?
Yes,
that we said the quiet part out loud.
That's
where
right.
we inadvertently, through me trying to do a bit with you, revealed that you frequently in your real life have to engage with people saying the kind of things I just said.
That's right.
As if this was not a joke. This is an actual thing. And so you're trying to reply rationally and reasonably, and the correct answer is no. So you're just a fruitcake. I get it.
Well,
I see here.
Frankly, that's what we were doing on. I don't know if Dr. Kip is still here, but that's what we were doing on the last stream. I didn't get to catch much of it, but it was literally the fine folks from Aspiring Philosophy laughing at me personally,
right,
for not just going, "Oh, sure, but your hypothesis doesn't explain how risen Jesus ate fish, dummy." And I'm like,
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't. If you think that Jesus definitely was dead and eating fish, I guess you're right. Joke's on me.
Like the memes you see everywhere of like, if wrestling's fake, explain this. You'll see some guy throwing like a dummy of a zombie into the crowd and doing an elbow drop. And
Oh, funny.
This is all fake. Explain how Jesus ate all that fish. Wait, what?
Huge quantities of earth are thrown into outer space, scatter themselves around in a kind of corona around the earth, fall back to
corona
earth through the stratosphere, become highly heated, and cover the earth with a rain of fire.
That's not true.
What?
He was actually right up until that point. But moving on.
It does throw. That was what caused
Yeah.
most of the death, was the throwing of the dirt up into the
Yeah,
atmosphere.
that is it. But it doesn't fall back to Earth at such a heat that it catches on fire and then causes
No,
a
that's
rain of
correct.
fire.
It actually,
No, it stays
sadly,
in the air and blocks the
sadly,
sun and causes,
yeah.
causes like essentially a nuclear winter, a terrible ice
Yep.
age, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, if it
Which
just
is
fell
actually-
right back down, we probably would have been fine.
yeah. I mean, the people caught on fire from the falling fire dust wouldn't have been fine, but like to be fair, Kate, if we're gonna be like, probably yes, there were some chunks of Earth that there would be some multi-ton probably boulders or whatever thrown up that would fall down somewhere and maybe crush a brachiosaur or something. But
Sure.
this isn't a rain of fire that's circling the globe and falling on everything. And no, that's not what's killing everything.
Nope.
Which is totally destructive of everything on its surface. Now, such a hit on land would be very hard to prevent the destruction, unless
Where's
some
my
kind of intervention from out there
Sorry.
should occur
You got an
just before.
atmospheric planet circling corona, Paul. Where would you ever get a live watching? That's what we need to know, and that's what happened to Earth's second moon. Yeah.
That's how you know it didn't happen.
What's your favorite
That
VeggieTales?
My favorite which? Sorry.
VeggieTales song. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and tick Dave tells an unrelated story because I went and told a story about singing VeggieTales songs at work. I tried clicking on the space on the stream window and it wasn't working. I had to. Apparently, I'm getting.
My first instinct was water buffalo, but I think it's got to be pirates who don't do anything.
That's a good one. Mine is the Chocolate Factory song at the beginning of.
Oh, but that's not a silly song.
I didn't say silly song. I said favorite VeggieTales song.
Oh, I heard silly song. So you like Bunny? The bunny?
No. The Good Morning, George.
Oh,
how are you?
Gotcha.
I hope you're doing fine. I'd love to sit and talk, but it's almost 8 o'clock and I haven't got the time.
Oh, because we work
real hard at the Chocolate Factory.
You picked a bad key. Book the whole night through. Send us home to our family.
Yeah, that's the one.
No, that's not as good as the.
I didn't ask you to rate my favorite song. I asked what your favorite song was. Fucking Gen Xers.
Exactly.
Afterwards, it'd be too late.
Of course, the more likely scenario is that it would hit water, since more of our planet is water than land.
70%.
The results for us, though, would be, I suppose, somewhat the same.
Yeah,
Just about nothing would survive.
that's right.
I am really curious I hope you can stay around and let me open up the phone lines and let people ask you questions, because I guarantee
Awesome.
there are a lot of questions out there about what you have said.
Well,
No, I
hope
don't
so.
see how.
This guy needs callers. This is good.
Yeah. That would be the bunny song. If you actually had a pet rabbit, would be very good. Then you could sing the bunny song to the pet rabbit.
Yeah, but it's about eating the rabbit.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, we keep that rabbit in line.
Yeah.
We intend to eat you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a little bit of...
I don't want my soup or my bread, just the bunny, the bunny, the bunny.
I wish I could remember
Time.
the round part, the back set.
Oh.
I just need a knife and a fork
yeah,
and a bunny.
I don't want to hear the joke that is funny. I just need a yeah.
Yeah.
No,
They
the
had some
brain
very
cells.
good rounds in the VeggieTale.
They did. My brain
yeah,
cells for that one went to chicken cherry cola.
Very cool. Yes.
I'm ready.
You are.
Yes.
All right, I should warn you, Father, that I have unscreened phone lines. I don't pre-question my callers about what they're going to ask. They can ask anything they want, and based on what you've said, believe me, they're going to have some serious questions.
I know.
You do.
Well, after I give my talk, I always say, well, what do you think about that? And people ask me and go wherever they want.
You do this on radio someplace?
I just want to point out that's not how you spell striper.
It's not. I didn't even see it in chat. Someone.
The way you've typed it is a whole different thing. Striper
It's a
was
very
with a
different
Y.
show.
Yeah.
I wish I'd seen that show when I was a young
That's
man.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, I do it on the radio on occasion, and I also do it. I used to do it on Seeing Beyond, as a station that's recently gone national, but I do it every Sunday here whenever I have services.
Father Morrow, welcome back.
Hello.
Oh, there must have been the ad break there.
You know what? So in the annals of content idea that you and I will never actually do, if we could find enough deconverted people right age, would be to have a karaoke party of 80s and 90s Christian rock.
Oh wow.
Right? Just online sometime, do it. I would that would be freaking awesome.
Also, yes. Also, that would have to be on a Discord special, because you definitely would
Yes, because we would be
demonetized.
demonetized. Like, yeah, you definitely couldn't do that.
Yep. Music, they're uppity.
Yeah.
Here's email.
You know the people over from DeGarmo and Key are right on the
Just,
button.
I was literally just gonna be like, bet you can't wait till the Garmo and Keys lawyers come after you.
That's funny that we both pulled out the same thing.
Both of me, Garmo and Keys.
They're just sitting there by the button. Someone's gonna copyright our music. I know it. One of these days.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember that SNL bit about the Napster trial way back? Conan O'Brien was the guest star. So it's supposed to be the Senate hearings on when they were doing all their Napster.
Right. I just don't
trials.
remember what the joke was, but yeah.
So the joke is they keep getting artists to come and testify.
Okay.
And Conan O'Brien comes out as Right Said Fred. So he's got his like just vest and he's got a cap and he, so he's supposed to be he's Right Said Fred 8 years post, so he's let himself go.
Sure.
And he's like, I used to be too sexy for my body. Now I'm too sexy to not default to my mortgage payment and all these things about how Napster is inflicted like that. And then they pull it. It's like, all right, well, I've got the discs here, and your song has been downloaded 2 times. And he's like, I see. I was told there'd be lunch here. Is that? It was very funny. Yeah. Anyways,
I was talking to a well-meaning person who has written a book, and they were talking to me how they were at least no one's pirating, like, he hasn't sold as many he wanted, but at least no one's pirating it. And I was like, that was always
that's not a good thing, actually. That's not.
I remember
good, right?
I remember the first time one of my books was being pirated. I was so excited. Yeah. It's like
I remember I went over to your house and you were so excited that this Red 5 Comics had shown up in like the weekly.
That's right.
Comic bundle, right? That's like, it's now.
We are popular enough to steal now. This is
that we're now. Before it's like, why would no one's bothering to steal this?
Yeah.
Nobody cares. It's like, does that make you feel better? Is that good? Yeah.
If no one wants to steal your thing, are you doing anything? Come on.
And they also probably don't want to pay $6 for it.
No. That's how you know you're the in crowd who can't pay for your stuff.
Yeah. That's like the old, if Weird Al hasn't made a cover of your songs, have you really made it?
Mm-hmm.
No. Anyways.
Father Charles is aware that the book of Revelation talks about a burning mountain falling into the ocean. Perhaps he can paraphrase that verse.
Not offhand, I recall it.
You virtually have said tonight that you believe the world, our world, as we know it, is going to end June 30th of 1999. This coming year.
I would say that people ask me, what are the chances of this happening? And I say, well, I guess just about what the chances are of everything happening, 50-50. But the point is that the
that's not how that works.
I make that joke all the time. Yeah. The odds about 50-50. It'll happen or it won't. Yep.
The chance of me winning the lottery tomorrow is not 50-50.
It is about 50-50.
It's not. First of all, I don't know. I don't know what day they draw the numbers, but it doesn't feel like it'll be tomorrow.
It's not tomorrow. No.
Yeah.
And do you have a lotto ticket?
And I haven't bought. I've never in my life bought a lottery ticket.
Okay.
So
that's not fair. You suckered me in. You presented this.
No, I'm saying it's not. That's not the way things work. It's not this. You can't just say all things are 50-50.
I mean, all things that could happen are 50-50.
Like, it's not a 50-50 chance that my dog will turn into a cow tomorrow.
I mean, no, because that couldn't happen.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, you convinced me. All things are 50-50 then.
But there is a 50-50 chance that your dog will find a bag of money in the backyard and bring it to you. Because that could happen. Yeah.
Oh, and a 50-50 chance that a airplane will crash on my roof.
Yes. And a 50-50 chance that YouTube costs you a copyright strike for.
Oh, I think it was higher than that. But
you have to remember, Paul, in this scenario, as pointed out by PhD Tony, the word "about" is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
About 50. Yeah. Do you think the audience cares about me ranting about our copyright claim from last week or not?
I think the people want to know. I think we need to get it out here.
All right, so it's not infrequent. It's not every time, but it's not infrequent that this particular show gets caught with a copyright claim, and that is where YouTube says, "Well, you know what? Someone's complained, and we're going to give you 30 days for you guys to figure this out."
Yeah.
And
typically the complainant is, Coast to Coast AM.
Right. The fine folks who own the copyright to the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have so far had a 100% success rate in arguing that what we do here, rightly or wrongly, is fair use. Yeah. We are definitely...
As we often use roughly 15 minutes of audio in sometimes
in a 4-hour stream.
Yeah.
It's tough to claim that there's more of their show than commentary.
Yes.
Or that we've created somehow an alternate. So you don't even have to listen to Art Bell anymore, because you could just listen to Dave and Paul.
You could just listen to Dave talk about VeggieTales.
That's right. Yeah.
It's basically the same thing.
So we have a 100% success rate. We've learned not to panic. And so, like clockwork, last time we had our show, it comes in the next morning, Saturday morning, I wake up, copyright claim, whatever. I go to file the normal thing, and then I just take a double take. It's not the fine folks over at Coast to Coast who've submitted a claim.
No, sir.
It's some dumbass. Some dumbass who uploaded an Art Bell episode onto their YouTube channel some years ago.
Yeah. Who just straight up stole it.
Straight up stole it from Art and somehow didn't get caught. So then they were coming after us for deigning to steal what they've stolen.
Yes. So something I've learned, I don't know if we ever talked about it on the ones. So Coast to Coast has a YouTube channel where they do have some of their shows and guests and stuff uploaded. That's where we get in trouble with them. Right. Is if we happen to put something up that they already have on their YouTube channel, that's usually where we get dinged. If it's not on their YouTube channel, they don't care. It seems to be. Which does then beg the question. So, like, we could easily avoid it by just double checking, but who's got the time to scroll through their hundreds of videos of content? Because there's literally tens of thousands of episodes of Coast to Coast it airs every single day and has been running since like 1992 or something. It's like, who's got the time? But yes, but this guy is straight up, like, I mean, it takes some balls.
It does
to be like, I stole this first.
But not only that, when you fill out your form, you are actually saying, you have to check off this box. It's saying you are saying under penalty of perjury. So the one thing the DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, when it ever came out in early 2000s, I guess, they did want to curb frivolous stuff. So they actually made it a crime to file frivolous copyright claims on things.
Right.
Anyway, So I quickly I before I hit submit, I'd noticed that it was Mr. Dumbass. I don't know the gender of dumbass. It could have been, I don't know. I'm just going to assume dumbass gender guy. Anyway, I put in the note, this does not also, comma, this does not appear to be the actual copyright holder.
Yes.
Anyway, normally it takes about 3-4 weeks for these things to
Yes.
get cleared. But later in the afternoon,
Yeah.
the fine folks at YouTube was like, "Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, never mind.
Never mind. We're gonna have a little chat with this guy over here.
So
though.
either he's going to jail for perjury, or you could just let this drop, dumbass." Anyway,
so that was our advice.
that was fun.
That was fun.
Fact of the coincidence of three major predictors on one date, effectively, causes me to have pause to think that it very likely is going to happen. Let's put it this way, I won't be a bit surprised, and as that date comes closer, I will expect to prepare myself.
Do you think, Father, that we will have warning of this? And when I say that, I mean not just what you're saying right now.
That's what I was going to say. Isn't this the warning right now? You know, don't you? You know, the famous pastors always talk. Well, God sent you a The guy was on the roof, and they sent a boat and a helicopter, and and the guy gets to heaven, and why didn't you save me? Well, I sent you a boat and a helicopter, and anyway. If you haven't heard that joke before, I did a very poor job of telling it. But I assumed that this was the warning for all of us that to get our act together by June 30th, 1999.
It doesn't matter what you do. It's too late. To rack up that credit card debt.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was reading what the 3 secrets of Fatima were.
Oh, did you? Oh, you found them.
And the third one was revealed by the Vatican in 2000.
Okay.
According to this, so before, do you want me to go into this?
I would like to know what the top 2 secrets of the Fatima are.
These were a series of revelations that were revealed in 13th of July 1917. The Virgin Mary appeared to some shepherd children in Portugal and revealed 3 secrets. 2 of those secrets were revealed in a 1941 document, the third in 2000. So that's what these secrets of Fatima are.
All right.
The first secret, Our Lady showed us a great sea of fire which seemed to be under the earth. Plunged in this fire were demons and souls in human form, like transparent burning embers, all blackened or burnished bronze, floating about in the conflagration, now raised into the air by the flames that issued from within themselves, together with great clouds of smoke, now falling back on every side like sparks in a huge fire, without weight or equilibrium, and amid shrieks and groans of pain and despair, which horrified us and made us tremble with fear. The demons could be distinguished by their terrifying and repulsive likeness to frightful and unknown animals, all black and transparent. This vision lasted but an instant. How can we ever be grateful enough to our kind heavenly mother who had already prepared us by promising in her first apparition to take us to heaven? Otherwise, I think we would have died of fear and terror. So the first secret is that hell exists, and you're going to be in fire.
It's good to Dante confirmed, I guess.
Yeah. So the second secret, you have seen hell, where the souls of poor sinners go to save them. God wishes to establish in the world devotion to my immaculate heart. If what I say to you is done, many souls will be saved and there will be peace. The war is going to end. So remember, this was in 1917. So this was during World War I.
Mm-hmm.
But if people do not cease offending God, a worse one will break out during the pontificate of Pope Pius XI. I would have to look up Pius XI and see if that's when World War II started.
I'm guessing that was, yep.
But people seem to put great weight by this, so who knows? When you see a night illuminated by an unknown light, know that this is a great sign given to you by God that he is about to punish the world for its crimes by means of war, famine, and persecutions of the church and of the Holy Father. To prevent this, I shall come to ask for the consecration of Russia to my immaculate heart and the communion of reparation of first Saturdays. If my requests are heeded, Russia will be converted. There will be peace. If not, she will spread her errors throughout the world. causing wars and persecutions of the church. Well, I can see why this was a big hit in the 70s and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
The good will be martyred. The Holy Father will have much to suffer. Various nations will be annihilated. In the end, my Immaculate Heart will triumph. The Holy Father will consecrate Russia to me, and she shall be converted, and a period of peace will be granted to the world. Well, so there you go. Those are the first two secrets of the Fatima.
Remind me if that second one happened.
I mean, depending how you look at it, that you could certainly interpret world history to of the last 50 years to have broadly followed that. The part about Russia,
Russia never really did.
no, the
Christian
Soviet
nation.
Union certainly fell apart, but Russia being converted and there will be peace. That seems to be not what's happening right now.
It doesn't seem to be.
But you know what? Who's to say what's going to happen in the next 50 years?
Well, maybe we have no idea how much war there would have been if the whole Fatima 2 didn't take place.
Who knows? Who
No.
can say? Yeah.
Who can say?
Or Graham Hancock or the third secret of Fatima, but warning in an astronomical sense that some astronomer will see this thing coming toward us.
Graham Hancock says no warning.
No warning.
And he says why. It's 24-hour. The warning will be 24 hours, which is much too short to do anything about it. And the reason he says that is that the Leonid meteorite shower, which we go through in June, it comes in the daytime hours.
Well, I thought the Leonids came in November.
Famously, Dave,
Yeah.
the Earth just has uniform daylight. It's the day for everybody, all of us at the same time.
I mean, everybody who's important, aka white. Yes. Catch up, Paul. We're talking about Christians here. I guess it also Buddha. So maybe actually this falls apart quite a bit.
Frankly, we don't know when Muslims have daylight. And we don't want to know.
Maybe Hindus experience day. We don't know. Frankly, we don't want to know.
They do, but they also return in June.
They return in June.
That's what Hancock says. I'm taking his word for it.
Yeah.
And that when they
Famous, astronomicist Graham Hancock, who is very
That's right.
familiar with.
He assures us there will be no warning, but 24 hours.
Yeah. With the electric boogaloo. Yes.
come in June, you don't see them. That's why they don't make anything of them, because they're not visible.
I see.
And he says that they're hiding in there someplace. Is a great foggy mass covered, debris covered bolide of considerable size.
Well, I do know that astronomers
by the way,
have...
sorry, just for if you know, no, the Leonids are that is in November. It does not come back in June. They're not. It's a once a year event. It happens in November. Leonid meteor showers. It's Moving on.
Categorized, I believe they claim 10 to 15% of what they call the Earth crossers. They only know about 10 to 15%. And I also know that in the past, many, many times, the Associated Press, the main wire services have run stories that go about like this. The Associated Press learned today that Earth had a very close call 2 days ago.
Right.
24 hours ago. And then something came very close that we had no idea was out there. And we find out about it 2 days later. Now, does that give me a lot of hope?
Well,
that we would know ahead of time? No.
The thing is, however,
Nope.
I will tell you that coming events do cast their shadows before in terms of deep-seated psychological awarenesses.
I believe that.
And I think that we're beginning to see symptoms like that popping up all over the place. At least I'm seeing it around here. And it doesn't have anything to do with having heard what I said. There's some kind of deep disturbance.
I wrote a book called The Quickening, which was all about that. And I'm not a prophet, but I have felt for some time now that a really major event is imminent, is on the way, is close. I can just feel it. I can feel it in
Feel it
every...
coming.
The best kind of prophecy. Paul, you and I could
Look, I don't want to freak you out. I'm not actually a prophet, but I did predict something big was going to happen.
Something's gonna happen. They're cooking up something big. You know,
We're on the precipice.
I don't want to let too much out,
Yeah.
but
just know that at some point you're going to be nodding your head. You had that one, Art. You called it.
might want to keep your head on a swivel. You know, watch out.
Something big.
Something big.
Fiber of my being. I know it.
Yep.
All right, here we go. First time caller line. You're on the air with Father Charles Moore.
Callers.
Yes, Father Moore.
Yes.
I had a question for you. You seem to jump between different historic and archaic texts quite often. I want to know, how do you decipher which texts are accurate, or you seem to take a verse out of the Bible, then continue it in some ancient other text.
Yeah.
Where are you, caller?
From Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Some of it, no doubt, comes from Zechariah Sitchin's reading of the Aramaic.
Because when you were talking about Noah before, and you mentioned the meteorite, in Genesis it speaks about the waters covering the highest peaks for several months.
Right.
If that were true, as a scholar and as an educated person, you really believe that it would take several months for the water to recede from the highest peaks?
Certainly would.
Why do you say that?
When these bolides hit, the Genesis uses the term, the fountains of the deep will be loosed, right? As well as the 40 days and 40 nights. And fountains of the deep being loosed means tidal wave.
I'm already upset with this, Paul, because this caller so you asked the important question.
Yeah.
How do you determine what out of all of these various ancient sources you're pulling, how do you determine which ones are legitimate and which ones are not? Is it just the ones that agree with what you're saying are, and then he threw out this other thing at the end. He's like, well, if it was a tidal wave, how would it take months for it to recede? And then he just let him off the hook on
right. Exactly. He asked don't ask the follow-up question yet.
Yeah.
Because now he'll just answer this receding question and then forget about the first one.
We don't have to worry about
explaining. No. I don't have to explain my methodology about the texts.
Yeah.
Tsunami, right?
True.
And the thing is that when a bolide hits and sets off the tidal waves, they are huge, but it takes them at least a year to settle down. And they keep sweeping around the earth and around and around and around for at least a year.
That's the proper.
I'm gonna have to double check the math on that. I feel like that is not accurate
time frame, I imagine, but I just can't fathom it would take that long for the seas to settle.
Well,
that's your view, and
well,
it's my view.
So shut up.
Look, that's just an argument from incredulity, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not a hydrological engineer, so I can't, speak with accuracy to how long it would take. Very large ripples in the ocean to settle down to a point where they weren't constantly flooding all the land.
What goes up?
Feel, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I feel in my heart of hearts.
Yeah.
My innermost being, that it would not be a year.
Well, depends on how you measure the end time.
I don't think it does.
What goes up must come down.
Because we're talking about something that happened apparently 30 million years ago, which is when Noah existed? ? This is very. This is all over. This is all over the map.
It's a little bit fuzzy on the sequence.
Yeah.
Estimate is given by people who deal with such things.
What are your views on Jesus himself? Is he the savior, or is he just one of many saviors?
The concept of Messiah, and when one looks into the concept of Messiah, one learns a great deal. For instance, the book of Judges, that is so called in the Bible,
get ready to twitch, Kip.
Should be called the book of Messiahs, because that's what Messiahs do. And what Messiahs do is liberate people. And that's, of course, what Jesus says he's here to do. It's about freedom. And that's what Buddha said he was here to do. And that's what the judges in the Old Testament did.
But in the New Testament, in I believe it's Corinthians, or one of the New Testament books after the Gospels, where Paul's saying that there was no other name beneath heaven given amongst men by which we must be saved, save the name Christ Jesus? How would
Well,
you
that's
justify
Paul
a
of
verse
Tarsus.
like that?
That's Paul of Tarsus, and I'm afraid I have not a good opinion of him.
Well, how can you not have a good opinion of him, though?
Because I've discovered in
Dumb man.
studying these matters that Paul of Tarsus is a Greek.
Ooh. And let me tell you right now,
Let me tell you.
there's two things in this world, Paul, that I cannot stand. All right? I cannot stand people who are intolerant of others based on their race, their culture, or their creed. And the second thing I can't stand is the fucking Greeks. Just the worst. Every one of them more horrible than the last. That's what my scholarly pursuits are.
I pray that the father, what's his name? Father Chuck Moore.
Charles Moore. Yeah.
I pray that he never learns the entire New Testament is in Greek. All of it. I mean, there's a couple of Aramaic phrases, but
he wrote that letter to Corinth, Rhode Island, Paul. It's a totally different place.
You know all about those smarmy Greeks.
You know. I don't have to go into it here. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I mean, they make a good salad, but
we skipped right past it, but it's like, well, the job of the judges in the Bible was to liberate. I'm like, wasn't it the judge? Isn't that why they called them that? They were the people who are, ours of various legal and societal and all kinds of things. They were, the judges.
But
where we get
freedom through rules, Dave.
Freedom through rules. Yep, absolutely. Yep. Oh,
super chat from Rosina. Seriously, watch The Man from Earth.
Okay.
I mean, but not till the stream's done.
Oh.
No.
I mean, I can throw it up here right now.
Makes Jesus into a Greek god, and Jesus is not a Greek god.
I'm sorry, sir. I disagree with you because it was picked up.
I mean, I actually know some scholars that absolutely do agree with that, but okay. We're not going to get into serious times now. We already learned something. We already learned one thing.
Oh, I have seen The Man from Earth. Yeah, it's about a guy that's like 14,000 years old, and he sort of like meets and he answers questions with friends and go, yeah.
I have seen that one too. Really it's set in a cabin and stuff, right?
I think so. Yeah. That's the one.
I've seen that one, and he turns out he was. I shouldn't spoil it.
No, but it's actually a really good movie, and people should watch The Man from Earth.
Yeah, and so it's a lot of chit chatting.
Yes, if you hate movies where there's lots of talking, you're not gonna like this one.
But clever. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
The Lord,
well,
and
of course we have this.
I'm not going to argue your point because you seem to be set in your ways.
Well, all right, caller. Thank you, and
take care. Bye. Yeah.
Famously, Art's guests are closed-minded people, not open to alternate ideas or new ways of thinking.
This is like one of those liberals who doesn't fall with his neoconservatism that thinks the Bible. You can't just dismiss Paul of Tarsus because he was Greek.
So first of all, but also, did he not open the stream saying, "Oh no, all the Greek gods are absolutely real"?
Well, he just said small gods. I don't think he ever said Greek gods. Unless maybe
I think he said that the Greek ones were.
Yeah,
but how dare you try to make Jesus a Greek god? Because
it's clearly not.
Clearly not.
Care.
The fundamental problem is this:
That's
you believe the messenger more than the message.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a crazy twist that you can see coming for a long ways off.
It's to me, it's just there's a lot of really good dialogue and conversations and interesting ideas.
It's interesting ideas.
Yeah.
and offended religious people. So that's fun too.
Yes, or shuts down a caller. That's in there. If if you've got that box, you tick that off because that
Yep.
was straight up. Like, yeah, okay, thanks for calling.
You
Bye.
can't name that bishop that you talked to, can you?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
He didn't want to be known publicly for his opinion.
Wild card line, you're on the air with Father Moore. Hi.
Hi, Art. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
And I'd like to ask your guest, first I'm calling from Los Angeles, California. I would like to ask your guest if possibly he might think that I'm 34. I've been doing a lot of reading and really interested in alien abductions since I was 17.
Uh-huh.
And I happen to know a woman that has been abducted. Now I would like to ask you, we know many accounts of women being abducted and testimony of possibly hybrid beings being created by these beings. Now, could it possibly be that if this is going on?
I mean, so that's what we know.
That's what we know.
I mean, that's what we know. So now let's speculate on top of that.
Yeah. Given those established facts,
Right.
reasonable.
That no one here is questioning.
Reasonable to speculate.
Mm-hmm. Now let's get speculative.
Now let's get speculative.
Yeah.
That these beings are trying to somehow preserve the human race in some form before this catastrophe might happen. Maybe they have foresight that this is going to happen. And maybe that question might be for Art, too.
The thing is that if you read the Sumerian story of the creation of Adam and Eve, you will find that it is precisely a genetic experiment conducted by the gods in which human beings on the planet 300,000 years ago were used as the source of one half of it, the feminine half, the ovum, and the Anunnaki, or the people from the other planet, were used as the other half, the male half. And genetic experiment.
So we'll have to get. I know. Kip and Dr. Josh are friends.
Yes.
And so he maybe uniquely, it's established. I where his opinion on the established fact that in the Sumerian account of Adam and Eve, it's clear that it was in fact a genetic experiment performed 300,000 years ago.
Yes, because also famously they knew all about the genes,
and hopefully he can get some more. I would like a true scholar on the subject to be able to maybe expand upon that and help me understand as an uneducated layman.
Well, if I may, if you go to tinyurl.com/NIHB 2026. And if you that's a special promo for my channel, it would help my channel. You can go check out last week's new insight into the Hebrew Bible, where one Megan Lewis, also a friend of the channel, gave a lecture on this very topic. Dave,
what zoomy situations going on there?
Dear.
Okay.
Bella
seemed very upset about her own tail for a while, and wow.
So
oh my god!
Welcome to my life, everybody. The deer are early. So we've had roaming late at night. Because there's been a lot of construction around here, and so the places where they can get food is narrowing, and so there's a couple empty lots across the street, and the deer go there, and Bella thinks it's big rabbits, and it's in
fact a deer.
Anyway, I'm gonna mute myself and
maybe deal with something or just whatever. I will also point out I have to go somewhere. I'm not going to dig through my stacks of books and find it. I actually own a couple of books by Zachariah Sitchin, which sadly I have not read. I started reading one of them and then was like, okay, I'm done with this because it's horrible. It's also poorly written and poorly edited, so that did not help my overall opinion of the situation. But I do actually this is Kip is the good point. Why I don't need to talk to Dr. Josh or Megan or anyone. I could just have the source material here. I have the books by Zachariah Sitchin.
That's right.
Which this person is just parroting.
Then you would learn.
I could go to the original source and just learn it.
Actually, frankly,
what's that URL again, Paul?
tinyurl.com/NIHB 2026.
Nobody's interested here because
Bitch.
nothing interesting here, bitch. Nobody's gonna buy that program, Paul. Why would you call it that? That's terrible. That's terrible marketing.
I am very bad at marketing. Yeah.
Nothing interesting here, bitch.
That's Bart Ehrman's fault. All right. It's his conference, not mine. I didn't name it.
Yeah, well, there you, he didn't. Yeah, that's fair. I'm throwing shade at you. This has nothing to do with you. It's not your fault.
I can't wait to clip that segment and send it to Bart. Yep. Scholars know me. Why? I don't know.
That was the last time
in which human
a scholar reached out to Paul to
promote their conference. Yep.
Yeah.
beings were bred
I
up.
feel like any of your numerous detractors online,
numerous,
like, really, they could just watch this show and clip content, and they would be feasting off of that for years. Anybody who wants to try to make you look less than stellar, I don't. This is the number one sign to me that, like, oh, they're not actually watching all of, they just see whenever you're reacting to their shit.
I'm irrelevant. That's what you're saying.
That is what I'm saying. Just tiny.
We have a super chat from Where is Waldo?
Right over there.
By an amazing coincidence, the space aliens were genetically compatible with humans, because I don't have a middle school understanding of genetics.
That far be it for me to cast aspersions on a fellow Canuck, Paul. But whereas Waldo is forgetting that the human race was in fact created, genetically manipulated originally by these aliens, these star gods, small g gods that worship G gods. So it does actually make sense that we would be genetically compatible, because our genome is in fact based on their genome.
Right, just like the Wii U could play Wii games.
Yes.
That we're backwards compatible.
We're backwards compatible. Not quite as good, but
Yeah, but we could. Yeah. You can plug in the old cartridges, as they say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, in this plan, really, human men can just suck it, because it's like, well, we need the lady ovaries.
Yeah. We don't. We mostly need you around to make more ladies for us later. Thanks. Bye.
This was one of my least favorite Next Generation. We've talked about it before. It's one of my least, the progenitors or whatever they were. I hated it. In Star Trek Next Gen.
The Star Trek?
Hated it.
Because it was boring and
because it over-explained. It was like, no, explain less, please. Don't.
Yeah.
Well, we need to explain why all the humanoid aliens are humanoid.
Like,
no, you didn't. You did not need to do that.
It's like watching 60s and 70s sci-fi where you can like just clearly see the zipper on like the back of whatever suit. It's just like, you don't, like, we all know, like, we're watching Star Trek. None of us think this is a documentary, right? Like, we know Vulcans don't exist, Bajorans don't exist. You don't have to explain why. Why do they look like humans? Because you're all actors. You're all actors being paid minimum rate to be on this TV show. And we're gonna stick a kind of foam thing on your head, and now you're an alien, and just go with it, because we filmed 52 or 22 episodes of content a year. Hour-long episodes. So let's go.
None of this 8-episode a year crap that you guys do now.
We're basically a soap opera. It's just like, go. We're done. Oh, we screwed that up. Yeah, well, that's too bad. Anyways, next scene, strike the set. Let's go. Chop, chop.
Dave.
Yes.
You can't have a holodeck without generative AI, is a thought I've been having today. Everyone's angry. Everyone's angry at the generative AI, but there's no path. there's no path to holodecks without it.
You're exactly right.
So
You are
now I
exactly
don't know. Now I don't know who to be mad at anymore. But
I think we both know
oh, okay.
the Jews,
But the Greeks.
the Greeks. That's right.
Just the Greeks.
I forgot who I was racist about. Thanks for reminding me, Paul.
Okay.
Bad news is that the human beings were bred up by the, quote, gods, unquote, to be slaves.
All right, now I got another question. Have you ever heard of some tapes called the...
Wait.
I'm bored with your answer already.
There's nothing like, sometimes you can tell someone they're just waiting for their chance to talk.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, it turns out the entire human race was made as slaves. Well, fine, but I have another point.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about owning a timeshare? I feel like you're just waiting for an excuse to bring up timeshares. I don't think you were listening to my answer at all.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that does feel like that was a bit of a bombshell we just drew there, and then nope.
Nope. I got a different topic.
Yeah. Day of the Nephilim.
I'm sorry.
There's some tapes out there by this one minister called the Day of the Nephilim. Yeah, the beings having sex with human beings and creating giants.
Right, that's the story.
That's literally what I just said about the lady ovary thing. What didn't you understand about that?
I mean, we've talked about we have like 5 shows on this channel about this. Like, come on,
but it's come up 3 times in this call in this episode.
Yeah, numerous times
about the alien lady boinking.
Mm-hmm. It was the intro.
Yeah.
Herman.
Okay, now is it this tape that I heard in this minister that was talking was saying more or less that these beings were of Satan and that they couldn't procreate like we do, so they have to do it genetically.
Well, they've got that little back.
Because we don't procreate genetically, Dave.
No. We procreate with love.
That's right.
Okay, can you explain your view on that, Dave?
The name of Satan in the New Testament that Jesus reuses was Beelzebub. Now, that's a Babylonian word, and the meaning of that word is idol of the flies, all right, or lord of the flies. That same name appears in Judaism as Hazazel, and that also appears in the book of Enoch. And this Hazazel Beelzebub is the personage who is presented as Satan or the devil in Judeo-Christian literature. Mm-hmm. And according to the Sumerian story as presented by Sitchin, is that the descent of Hazazel on Mount Hermon was against orders from on high, as it were, and he came down here in order to engage in fun and games with the ladies. And the result was that he produced offspring that were monsters and giants, and that this was the cause of the reason why the human beings were not rescued from the flood, because the entire race had been corrupted by the interference.
Were we not rescued from the flood?
I was just, it's a little sad. Dr. Kip Davis, who has neither a lawyer nor been in the Navy.
He's never served in the Navy.
And I will say has written at least one book, because I do own a book written by Kip. But I mean, Dr. Seuss wrote books. Anyone can write anything.
But if you get a Navy lawyer priest, who has read Sitchin's and is telling us basically what he remembers about it.
Yeah, what he remembers, what Sitchin said about ancient Babylonian, which scholars disagree. You know what this reminds me of? Do you remember, you and I used to make this joke all the time. Was it, there was a translation of the Bible. Was it the Living Bible? The Living, or something like that? It was like a very colloquialism, like it was meant to be like,
or the Message was one of them.
The Message, yeah.
And the Living Bible was one. They were paraphrase
back when you and I were both quite a bit more religious, used to joke about how this is essentially somebody read the Bible and is just like
Right.
A lot of it was like, this is pretty much what it says, right? And Jesus was like, whoa, dude, relax. It's gonna be fine. Yeah. He's like, but I think Zachariah Sitchin sort of said something like this, and he kind of knows Babylonian. I mean, more than most people, kind of. So it's probably Azazel, and it's this is Satan. Yeah.
But it is actually kind of this is literally just a Sitchin's fanboy.
Yeah.
Who's come on.
Yes.
It's like if you or I got booked onto a show to talk about some other book that we really like. To talk about, hey, come on and talk about Dune.
No. Even better. This would be like if you had done interviews and you're like, oh, you should get my friend Dave on to talk about
right.
his experiences or his whatever. And I'm just like, yeah. Because I'm just a Paul fan. I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, well, this is what Paul says about this.
That's right. Yeah.
It's just like, you should get this guy on. This guy makes a lot of sense. He's great. You're gonna love him.
He's read my books and he seems to think they're true, so talk to him.
Yeah, you should talk to him.
Does he have any insights beyond what you have? None. He has none. He's read my book and he vaguely remembers it.
And vaguely remember it, and we'll reiterate what he remembers ad infinitum.
Then take calls.
Have a super chat.
We do have a super chat. Olivia Williams, Purple Fairy. Dr. Kip Davis has written no book.
I've heard that claim put forth by certain dinosaurs that I don't necessarily agree with. I don't know. I would say the evidence is, spotty. Records from this area are spotty at best. Yeah.
If only there was a reliable way to know, but we can't. It's one of life's mysteries.
It's one of life's mysteries. We'll never know. Did he write a book? Maybe. Were there copies in the Library of Alexandria? Quite possibly. We'll never know. It's just gone. Those are gone to us.
That's an argument from silence.
Do we have sources that cite Dr. Kip's book? We do. There's sources that mention it or mention other sources that they say are based on it. And I mean, that's all we have to go on. So we just have to kind of take it. It's the best we can get. And we just have to have no choice really to accept it as true, even though we have no way to confirm or deny. Yeah. I will say anecdotally,
yep,
I have in person once in a group setting met Dr. Kip, and he was quite inebriated, did not seem like the kind of person who could write a book. But this is anecdotal. That's, maybe I just caught him on a bad day or a couple of days, right? But he was slurring a lot, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Famously, only sober people have written books.
Yeah. I mean, good ones.
Yeah. If you think of all the no great writer of literature has ever imbibed in a spirit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly makes quite poor decisions when it comes to cheering for hockey teams.
Don't we all?
Hard for me to defend. Yeah, that's true. Well, everybody who doesn't live in fucking Florida does.
Yeah, don't we all?
Don't we all? Yeah.
It's very interesting that this Azazel is precisely in Judaism, Orthodox Judaism, is the demon of Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur being the principal feast of Judaism, in which
it's the demon of Yom Kippur.
Wow, I really wish Vishanti was here now. I've never been interested in Yom Kippur before, but now that I know that there's a demon of Yom Kippur,
I know, right? It's like a precursor to the Grinch. It's like
this is. You know what, Timothy Harmon? You're absolutely right. I stand corrected.
Yeah, that's right. Timothy Harmon says there's 50-50 chance that Dr. Kip wrote.
There is a 50-50 chance that
that's right.
Dr. Kip wrote a book. Yeah, which is
so you're Christmas. There's always a holiday envy when it comes to Judaism and Christianity, Dave.
Right. Yeah.
Because Christianity, they got the Easter and the Christmas. They make a pretty big deal out of those.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They got and then enough that they got spin-off villains, right? So Christmas has your Krampus.
Has your Krampus? Yep.
And it has your Grinch.
Who's the spin-off villain for Easter?
I'm not sure.
Is it Herod? Who's?
Well, I think Easter is there no Easter Bunny villain? I guess maybe not.
I'm not familiar, but
someone who stole Easter from the children.
Probably in some cartoon somewhere.
There must be. Anyway, we got. So once again, envious of the Grinch. So you know what? What if we have a demon of the Yom Kippur?
We got the Yom Kippur demon.
Look, kids,
is out there.
You don't have to worry about. Yeah, tell the Jewish children not to be envious of the Grinch.
Yeah, is he knocking over dreidels? What's he doing? I'm curious.
Union with the spirit of the Creator is the object. And Azazel is the one to whom all of the sins are sent by the priest on the head of the scapegoat. And this Azazel, now the thing is that this Azazel, it isn't that the Nephilim are all devils, but rather that Azazel is a devil. In other words, he's just a bad god. All right?
All right. It was a man from the Vatican named Father Balducci who went on Italian television early.
You mean Guido Sarducci? Father Guido Sarducci.
Father Guido Sarducci, who is, I have a deep and abiding love of Father Guido Sarducci. By the way, just throwing that out there.
Here this year, incredibly, to discuss his views officially on UFOs. And that would indicate to me that the Vatican seems to be preparing all of us for something, and the Vatican must know something that we don't know, and they're trying to get information out, not directly, but somewhat indirectly.
Well, that's about correct. And that may be the story with Malachi Martin as well.
If only the Catholics could somehow arrange for all of their people to come to like a meeting once a week.
As somebody who grew up in church, I can tell you they can't. Where they can get most of them.
Where they can announce things. We try to get people to subscribe to our newsletter. They won't do it.
Father Malachi Martin also has been saying to keep your eyes firmly upon the sky because there is going to be a large sign from the sky. He thought this last spring, and now he thinks this coming spring.
The secret of Fatima.
Maybe we need to listen to some of the, because we at one point were listening to his Malachi Martin's very first appearance on Art Bell.
True.
Because Malachi Martin has been on Art Bell like 9 times. He was on a lot. And he was charismatic and engaging, but the problem was he was incredibly reasonable.
It is the problem.
So and we're like, oh, that's I'm not interested.
It made for less interesting shows. Yeah.
It makes for us interesting rest because he was like, well, you know, he's like the vast majority of what people would call possession or demons is actually a form of some sort of mental illness or issues. And I really think most people don't need a priest. They need either medical, like a pharmaceutical help, or counseling. Yeah. And I think that's where most people should go. It's only in extremely, extremely rare cases where it's actually demonic possession that requires an exorcism. And before we get to that point, I always recommend people go talk to a psychiatrist, a psychologist, some kind of counselor, because probably this isn't a demon. Probably you have a medical condition of some kind. And you and I were both like, oh, well, this is boring.
That's right. What are we going to say?
Actually incredibly good advice.
Right?
Yeah. But if he gets into some crazy prophecy thing, maybe we need to revisit some of his later appearances. And that's not to say it would have been bad radio, because again, he was well spoken and he was charismatic. So
but people were learning stuff. We can't have that.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we strive to avoid.
Exactly.
But if he gets some prophecies and things, maybe we have to come back to Malachi Martin at some point, because we do get people saying, "Hey, you should redo more Malachi Martin."
Maybe we should. Maybe we have Mark Fernkoff wants to know: did we ever get that third secret of Fatima? So there's 2 answers to that, Mark. So
well, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so what's being proposed on this show is that the June 30th, 1999, we're all dying by asteroid strike. That is, according to this episode, that is the third secret of Fatima. But what, according to your website, what was the third secret?
Would you like me to read the third secret of Fatima?
Or summarize it briefly?
So there's the two verses explaining. So it's about, we saw an angel with a flaming sword in his left hand, flashing, gave up flames that looked as though they would set the world on fire. But they died out in contact with the splendor of Our Lady, radiated toward him with her right hand, pointing to the earth with his right hand. The angel cried out in a loud voice, "Penance, penance, penance!" Reaching their Holy Father, passed through a city half in ruins. So it does seem it's a very much like, there's no date, there's no details, but it's
so
very
a general,
yeah,
general apocalyptic.
Yeah. The Holy Father passed through a city half in ruins. That, you know, the Pope will be killed. He died one after the other. Priests, men and women, religious, various people lay ranks positions between two arms of the cross. There were two angels of crystal. They gathered the blood of the martyrs and sprinkled souls. So it's kind of just like, hey, the world's gonna
Gotcha.
The very Revelations ish.
All right. Well, this one's more interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
I sure would like to lay my hands on the actual text. Are you working on that at all, trying to get hold of it?
I believe that it wouldn't be too hard to do if you put your mind to it, internet and all.
Zachariah Sitchin might have warned.
Text of what? We were yapping too long. I lost the context.
I assume the third secret of Fatima.
Oh.
But you know what? I honestly
What I was about to walk into with Father Moore.
Shoot, I thought I had all the music cut. All right.
Holy mackerel.
Holy mackerel.
Paul, you got to probably really good.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Art Bell, and my guest is Father Charles L. Moore. We'll get back to him in a moment, and your questions.
I injured myself by singing.
All right, back now to Father Moore and Father.
That's how that's how I'm getting old, Dave.
Yeah.
How did Paul die? Tried to do an impression.
Tried to do a Louis Armstrong impression.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moore, I have a question for you. With what we've already had from the Vatican, would you expect that between now and that fateful date, June 30th of 99, that there would be official statements from the Vatican?
The thing is that I'm not sure whether this was an official statement that was sort of, played down by the press. As you say, some further investigation has to be done.
Newsletter you can't remember the name of, this publication source, this thing. I saw this in like something, I don't know.
It was on their blog. It was on their blog. I wasn't on on the main site, but it was on wordpress.vatican.com.
Yeah, it sounds like what he's saying is a bloke at the pub told me, but he wants to make it sound more official. I was like, I read it, so it was in a thing. It was in a published thing. Yeah, what thing? Yeah, I saw it around. Yeah. Yeah. It was there. Yeah.
Into the circumstances.
And I was having a beer the other night, and the guy at the bar told me the government's going door to door and rounding up everybody who oh my God, I get in arguments with people I work with all the time. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it here.
Here's somebody who writes a question for Father Moore.
Oh, did Dr. Kip miss it? The world will end, Kip, on June 30th, 1999. So have your affairs in order, because
based on
that's coming.
So this is what he determined from this third revelation of Fatima, which I just read, which doesn't have any dates in it, by the way, of any kind. But it was confirmed because of some book released by Graham Hancock.
No, so he saw the date in 3 different writings. So in Hancock's and in Sitchin's and in some other writing that I didn't catch what it was. They all mentioned that date as a we're done date, but in different contexts. And so he's like, well, this you can't 3 times. It's got to be real.
Got to be real.
That's independent corroboration, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's real.
Or Mr. Bell, if there is going to be an extinction event next June specifically, What reason would there be to not commit suicide before then, to escape suffering beyond imagination?
Well, because the suffering at that time wouldn't be any greater than doing it yourself.
Well, that's a good answer. Plus, there is always the possibility.
Is it?
Is it a good answer? I feel like it's not a good answer.
I feel like I would stick. I feel like I would stick it out for the. There are worse ways to go than an asteroid hitting.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I guess it depends how close you are to the asteroid.
Yeah, and because
There's a lot of
if I'm
people
going to
that's
be
like,
in that
it could
initial
be-
flash, that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Atoms, microseconds. Yeah, you're welcome, Kip. If you're on like the other side of the globe and you've just got nuclear winter and mutants to look forward to, well, sucks to suck, I guess.
Sure, but
hopefully
if
you're one of the mammals that make it through, but probably not.
right.
Yeah.
But if you're going to self-harm, you could wait and see which one you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's 50-50, as you know.
It's yes, you know.
that it will not occur.
Well, that's just exactly right.
Yeah, I've told this story before, but I had a very interesting phone call once from a lady who said, if we knew we had 6 months to go, and there was going to be an event in Ellie that would extinguish all life, you think everybody would go out and run their credit cards up to the max?
Hey,
And no, let me finish.
Sure.
And I said, I really have no idea. I doubt the credit cards companies would allow it. And so this lady
Why not?
called MasterCard.
I think they would.
Yeah. Why
Because-
would you not?
They're going to say, even if there's a 10% chance this doesn't happen, you
Yeah,
guys have all
there is
screwed
no-
yourself.
There's no downside to them. There's literally none.
No. Yeah.
Right? Either you owe us all this money or it's not going to fucking matter.
That-
Right? Like that.
They absolutely should. At that point,
Yeah.
you're right. MasterCard and Visa should at that point double everyone's limit. Hey, everybody, it's end of the world sale. We've doubled
risk
everyone's
reward
limit. Yep.
are quite
Yeah. Have yourself an extra nice dinner and get a
Yeah.
jet ski. Why not get a jet ski? You always wanted one.
yeah. The question is not will MasterCard honor debt? It's like, will anybody fucking go to work? It's like,
Yeah,
sure,
that's
you
right.
have this card and you can go to a fancy dinner. Are the cooks and waiters and servers and everybody, are they going to bother?
Why would
showing
they
up to
be?
make
Yep.
it? Like, why would they be? Probably some people will, honestly.
Well, yeah,
You know,
because
it's-
there'd be some
humans are varied
some
and wild, but-
skeptics.
Yeah, but it's the old will the world die with a bang and a fire or just a whimper? As everybody's just kind of like, well, I guess.
Or Visa, I forget which one of the big ones, and she asked that question.
Huh?
And the first person said, "Hold on a moment, please." And she actually got to somebody high in management, and they answered her question. They said, "Well, we actually have considered this, and our attitude would be to allow everybody to continue to charge all they wanted, based on the following assumptions: one, if it hit, it wouldn't matter. Everything would be academic and nobody's going to be collecting anything anyway, so who cares? But
We got to this faster, Art. Dave and I had
Yeah.
this figured out in the shorter story.
based
is why
on the
we-
possibility that it wouldn't hit and that Earth would survive, we'd be in great shape.
Well, that's pretty good. It's a very logical answer.
Yes, it is.
The interesting thing is that they considered it.
East of the Rockies, good morning. You're on the air with Father Moore.
Good morning. God bless you for your show. Father Moore,
Yes.
I am so happy.
I do feel like, again, it'd be a good side hustle for somebody to like sell.
Mhm.
I will look after your pets. If you pay me some $5 a month, pay me $5 a month for the rest of my life, and I promise that if the rapture comes, I will find your pet and look after it.
It's so just to go back a bit, it is interesting in a way to talk about like the end of the world, all these things. This is out of nowhere. So there were the accounts I've read personally and kind of know, and like historical, during the worst of the Black Death, the plague in Europe, where there were cities where 2/3 of the population died. Right. There were many people.
This is a real pick me up. Carry on.
This is a real, but there were many people at that time, and understandably, who thought like this is the end of the world. This is the end of society, right? Like this is it. If you were in that world, like all you knew, like you only know about, basically a 50-mile bubble around where you live and go, and it's like, and more than half of the people you know are dying.
Sure.
So a lot of people were very convinced like this is the end of the world. And people didn't riot. People didn't go wild, looting from abandoned mansions where the rich that lived there had died. They kind of just lived their lives, spent time with their families, and like, so it's this idea that people would just go nuts and it was like nothing matters anymore and go. It's like that actually doesn't bear up in history when you look at it. And there are plenty of examples where large portions of a population of a place in a center died, and you have every realistic explanation to think like this is it. Like neither me nor anybody I know is going to make it through the next year alive. People tend not to go buck wild. You don't get the purge. You get, well, let's sit around and play Ticket to Ride, and we're gonna just kind of relax, and it's what happens. That seems to be much. Obviously there's always outliers that will do whatever.
Sure.
People don't tend to just like kind of go and fulfill every wish and do things. They just sort of are like, well, all right, I guess I'll just kind of like sit here and die. And it's weird. But that is actually what happens when people think the world's gonna end. They just sort of are like, all right, I guess I'll sort of just do what I'm doing and we'll move on. Yeah. Interesting.
Everyone check off your Dave talks about the plague spot on your bingo card.
Yeah, on your bingo card. Yeah.
About this show, because I need an answer, and you, from what I've heard, can corroborate or give me the answer to this.
Paul?
Corroborate.
What? I mean, let's just help people get to blackout. What was your absolute favorite memory of working at Lucasfilm? What was the single coolest thing to you?
No, it's 1,000 things. There was no single coolest thing.
Okay.
No, I mean, yeah, that's not a good thing. But I mean, the irreplaceable stuff was being on set, right, for filming, because that's like no one gets.
You actually get to see it happen, being there.
Gets to do that. So. Oh, no. So here. My single greatest thing. Single greatest thing was the lunch that I had with Christopher Lee.
I mean, that would be pretty cool.
Just me and Christopher Lee, and he was heading off in 6 months to work on Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, hadn't started Lord of the Rings
yet, and he did not know much about Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, wow, you don't know. So tell me about this character I'm going to be playing. And that guy, and he had...
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah.
And he had stories about Peter Cushing and about like working in horror films in the 40s. Like that guy had, that was the single greatest lunch I've ever had. Was just me and Christopher Lee. That's probably my one big moment. Yeah.
I have never heard a story of someone having a bad interaction with Christopher Lee. I've heard lots of stories of fans and people, and just people meeting him, whatever, having
he could not have been more down to earth. He was like your grandpa, your uncle. He was wearing mismatched suit jacket with a shirt that didn't go with it and a hat that had a different print that didn't go with it. Like it was.
And I've seen interviews or talks with people like veterans who have talked to him, and he will tell, because he was famously served in the war and was a commander, did all these crazy ass things, and just seems like, yeah, just like a genuine. You never know, because you always know, like, is this person faking it or are they actually like?
Yeah.
And when everybody sort of like universally who you see in public is like, he's always nice, and you just
Yep.
sort of get the impression like this is actually a legitimately nice person. Yes, that sounds fantastic. There you go.
So
Everybody check out Paul Tells a Star Wars Story.
Yeah. So what did we eat during lunch? It was from the commissary, like, well, not from the commissary, from craft services. Like, so
Right.
so because I was on set proper that day, I got to, eat with it. So, I'm pretty sure it was roast pumpkin.
Ooh.
Because they roasted pumpkin much like we would roast potatoes.
Well, I've had roast pumpkin before. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was roast pumpkin, and either was some kind of breaded, like either breaded chicken or breaded pork, and I don't remember which. But I do actually recall vaguely what it was, because I also was getting used to Australian food at the time.
Right.
Because I was still pretty new on set. And sometimes you did nervous. Yeah, I was 28 years old. I was like, 28-year-old Mennonite kid who's done nothing.
But knows a lot about Lord of the Rings.
That's right. I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Actually, no, I guess I would have been.
Compared to this man and the life he's lived and the things he's done.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. And I guess I would have been 29 technically, because that was the next year. But yeah, there was yeah.
Well, I used to own a Daytona.
Yeah, right. Yes.
It's pretty cool car.
I think that the Noah story was real. Do you?
Yeah. I think we can all agree the Earth's probably like about 6,000 years old, right? Oh. Whew. Yes. Anyways.
Oh, that's funny. So, Ninjester has super chat. Well, everyone who had a bad experience with Mr. Lee probably had their last experience with Mr. Lee.
That's very true.
Probably. Yeah. Did you see that Stephen Colbert and his son are going to be?
Yeah.
I say we go ahead.
The chat much earlier tonight. Somebody wrote out, because we were kind of going, but the amount of nerd culture, like breaking stories that have happened between our last stream and this stream.
Oh yeah,
between the Firefly revival, it's like, if we were actually doing the Baimon Sci-Fi Con podcast, we would be eating well tonight. We would have no shortage of things to talk about. John Canfield must be he's living high on the hog right now.
It's Wonder Man season 2. We got Daredevil started. But yeah, no, Stephen Colbert and his son are writing.
The Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer came out, or
that's
whatever.
Right.
It's not Brand New Day. Is it Brand New Day? Whatever. The Spider-Man.
It trailer is, because again, I watched that trailer and all I could think of was the Dr. Horrible song Brand New Day.
Yeah, it's a brand new day.
but the trailer actually matches that tone. Like, because you're gonna I just feel like it could be recut to that song. Anyway, I think we don't need any more Lord of the Rings movies, Dave.
I agree. I agree. But the fact that Colbert is involved gives me a little more hope. I'm like, okay. The thing now, we'll see. Here's the trouble. I don't know who's directing and producing.
Jackson. But Jackson's going to exec producer Jackson? At least. So yeah.
Exec producer. So it's like, if there's enough people involved that legitimately care about this, this could be really cool and good. But,
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Has Stephen Colbert written any plots?
I honestly don't know.
Like, I don't.
Maybe not. I have no idea. Like, he had a long career before he ever got in, and I know he did write.
But having just like big fans of a thing isn't always the right way to go.
But there's at least somebody involved who's like,
if it's just Lord of the Rings member berries though, like it could just, I don't want if it's just deep cut inside references or whatever. Well, and jokes because it's Colbert. Anyway,
we'll see.
We'll see what the Hunt for Gollum is coming first. So
I have no interest, not even a little bit.
What if I told you Elijah Wood's in it?
What if you told me Elijah Wood's in it? Like, I have nothing but respect for Elijah Wood. I think he's a really nice guy, and but I could not care less.
No, I know.
So yeah, it's like telling me that Billy D. Williams is in some Star Wars thing. It's like, that's great. I'm glad Billy D. Williams is getting paid, and I wish nothing but the best for him and his family going forward. But I am pretty much burned out on Star Wars. Like, you have to really work to get me interested in this project.
There's a very, 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 very low chance that I will see Mandalorian and Grogu in a theater, which like what's happened in this world, my life now that there's a Star Wars movie and I'm already like, I'm not gonna see that in theater. Yeah.
If a whole lot of people are like, this actually is amazing, then probably I will go
Later.
see it on the second, third week.
Yeah, second week.
Right? Like, I'm not going to be there opening week.
No. All right, we're way off in the week. This is your fault.
This is my fault. This is what I do. I get to speak from the room.
I believe that when God made the creation, first he made, you know what the Sephirot are?
I'm sorry?
You know what a Sephirah is?
Sephirah, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
God created other universes, which are the Sephirot.
Yes.
And then he created this universe.
Yes.
And I believe that from those other universes, those were the gods, let's say, or extraterrestrials, which were like, God was the architect and they were the workers. They came here and we were created.
Well, that's kind of the story, isn't it?
And it would be great if you would be able to, I think God could have with you, like,
that's basically the Bible is basically a multiverse saga.
Yeah, that's basically the story. That doesn't really say anything that you've said so far, but okay.
It's a big multiverse story where every universe has their own gods.
Yeah.
And then we're all gonna get together on Battle World, and our gods will fight it out, and it'll collapse into one universe.
So here we go. We can nicely dovetail. So if you have a Rendezvous with Rama, which I think is still an ongoing, like, it's coming out at some point in the future. They're doing an adaptation of Rendezvous with Rama.
Yeah, I've read the book. I don't know about this adaptation.
Did you read all of the books in the series or just the first one?
I want to say more than one, but I don't know if it's all.
Because what she's talking about is actually the core sort of underlying spiritual theme of the Rama series. And in that is that the universe is an experiment. There are uncountable numbers of universes, each created by God, where God is slightly varying the conditions under which the universe is created, the precise mix of matter, antimatter, like all these things, in an effort to find out what specific set of variables will create a perfect universe where all life exists in harmony, and like you find every time. So
I did read these Garden of Rama. I did read all those. Yeah,
it's coming up. Yeah. So so the universe is an experiment that God is running, and so God basically sets the universe in motion, but isn't so God created the universe, but God is not present, and then God will set basically angels in like space, like watching and being like, and then come back to like record what happens and come and tell me the results, because I'm off doing other universes. I'm not actually hanging around and watching this.
I'm not caretaking this.
I just set it in motion, and then I fuck off, and the interns can deal with it after that. Right.
That's right.
Which it just to me was a fascinating at the time kind of concept of religion and spirituality. It's like, I know, like, there is a God and God created the universe, but he doesn't really care. Like, he cares in so much as this is a set of data.
Right. He's curious, but he doesn't care. Yeah.
He doesn't specifically care. There's literally billions of universes that are sort of currently active, and he's looking at this as a data set, not as any one particular, as much as we care about, if you're running simulations in a VR environment of whatever physics problem, of dam breaking or whatever, do I care about the people living in the village below the dam in simulation? 8 million, like, what if we use this much gravel in the concrete versus this much gravel in the concrete, right? Like, it doesn't matter. This is just simulations in a model. And once we have the ideal solution, great, then we'll go and build that down. And we can build it ad infinitum in whatever river we want to, because we've figured out the perfect way to do this. And that's what God wants. He's like, I want to be able to just create the perfect universe on a whim. Whether I'll even do it afterwards, it's like, I don't know. This is just kind of it's a hobby as much as anything. Right?
Sure.
I just want to figure the problem out. And then who knows what we'll do after that. Right? What's the point of making more after you know the perfect way to do it?
To show so you could explain how it was created, because it's so interesting and it's so easy.
And the thing is, this is the question of dimensions, you see.
Right.
And the word dimension is actually the inadequate word. The word should be multi-mention.
Right.
Because
the
dimension
other
means
said,
only two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the action is that there are many of them.
Right.
Who said there's
And the
only
thing
two?
is that
Literally nobody ever said there's only 2 dimensions. What are you talking about? Anyway, sorry, carry on.
the process of
This is, I have to take back when I gave him props for using frequency correctly.
Mm-hmm.
He's now lost that whatever store credit that he earned for that because he's using dimension poorly. So
creation. And what is meant by creation needs to be clarified to deal with that. And what creation is, curiously, is represented by what the scientists call black hole theory. But the idea of creation is that it is...
No, you're getting colder. I thought you were going to
Whole
say
theory.
it's what got created. That's what creation would be. The things that got created. All right, black hole theory.
And it's actually in the Book of Enoch as
Black
well.
hole sun.
And also in the
Book of Enoch is never made up. That doesn't exist.
But it does, and it talks about black holes. You shut your mouth.
book of the Gospel according to Thomas, which we've now discovered.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what he says.
The Gospel of Thomas doesn't talk about black holes. I've read it. It doesn't talk about...
I'm super curious where this is going.
For spirit to become matter is a marvel, but for matter to become spirit again is the marvel of marvels.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's what creation is, as I understand it.
Right,
When
but
spirit becomes matter.
okay, from what I've read, like the
Feels now, Paul.
Yes, Dave.
Maybe I misheard what he said.
No,
Maybe
this is consistent with what he said earlier, actually, but carry on.
I feel like this had very little to do with black holes.
You know what? I can go with that.
Up.
That was
He brought up
he name dropped black holes for no reason.
Yeah, and then was like, and the Book of Enoch, which he then skipped past without saying anything, but then the Book of Thomas, and then threw out a quote from the Book of Thomas, I presume, don't know, didn't seem to have much to do with black holes. It's almost as if
No, so you're not to do with black holes, but his idea, it's consistent with what he said up front, which was that we are all, everything in the universe is made out of spirits.
right.
And so the Gnostic Gospel of Thomas, I forget, but I believe does have the themes about, transform when you have the magic knowledge transforming from one plane to another, that kind of stuff. So, but not black holes, no black holes.
It's
infinity, and so
it's pronounced Gnostic, Paul. I don't wanna,
right.
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
Yeah.
I forgot about the G up front.
Yeah.
contracted
Yes,
in order to create the vessels.
that's right. It is the emergence of the material from the non-material.
Right.
And
And
the
it's
thing
so
is
easy to
that
understand.
emergence is pressed by an osmotic power of the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
This is precisely the kind of thinking that we need to do. And this is I brought up the word shaman before.
Mm-hmm.
This is the ancient religion of the world. We have been shamanic for 3.5 million.
Is it,
3.5 million.
It's the gift. GIF. Is it Gnostic or Gnostic?
It's Gnostic.
Some places say Gnostic. We say Gnostic.
Yeah, if we're
Yeah.
wrong, there's no soft G's here. It's def- all
Sorry, I
Gnostics
got
know it's
distracted.
pronounced. Yeah.
Years. We've only been human in the sense that we are now after the God's intervention for about 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
But still, the shaman is your radical priest. He's the radical, or she is the radical person who understands from their heart the process of creation.
Wouldn't it be great, Art?
Oh, right, that's right. Because we defined earlier, shaman are just anyone who knows that we're made of spirit
Yes.
is a shaman.
Yeah.
Right.
Which we've known for over 3 million years.
Or Shaw woman.
Yes.
Don't you think it would be great for the father?
To be fair, shaman is spelled with 2 ways. It's not actually Shaw man. It's a different.
That's what the patriarchy wants to tell you.
Heck yeah, we've been getting shit done for 6,000 years.
To have a show or to explain how creation was made. It's so easy to understand. Much sense.
The scientists talk about the Big Bang, Father.
Yes, they do.
Would you instead refer to Genesis?
No, I would try to explain Genesis in terms of the Big Bang, rather. The thing is, I know a lot of people don't like the Big Bang Theory, but I rather like it. And the reason I like it is because of what it deals with, and this is pretty abstract mathematics, the non-dimensional point. And this is a Kabbalistic concept from the Kabbalah of the Jews.
The non-dimensional point.
I was just like, I am delighted to hear what mathematical concepts he is. Yeah. Ooh, I'm throwing. That's, you know what? I'm throwing the Bible code numerology. He's throwing Kabbalah in there.
Probably good. Yeah.
That's 100% what the Kabbalah is. I'm doing it.
Middle Ages.
I'm doing it. Yeah.
It's called Kether, and Kether is the manifestation point of the Sephiroth.
Yeah, of course, it's the Sephiroth. Uh-oh, did we lose it?
We did, but we went quite a while today without before it did its weirdness.
Before we had any issues. Yeah. I did not know that, Kip. Well, there we go.
What's happening?
Kip is letting know the now disgraced Egyptologist, whose name shall not be mentioned. You can look.
Yes,
if you want.
I know who he
New
means.
thing is that rewards in heaven is a FaceTime with Jesus. It is a limited. I mean, you know,
Jesus can't come to your house. He's busy. Your mansion.
We apologize for any inconvenience. Right? That's the final message to creation.
That's yeah.
Oh man, I tell you, I'm so happy, Paul. I found.
Is this your Douglas Adams story? All right, carry on.
Yeah, got my grubby little hands on a copy of. I had it years ago and got rid of it. A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Right.
A trilogy in 4 parts.
Yeah.
A book published before he wrote the 5th part.
The 5th one.
That I fucking hate, Mostly Harmless, when it was just good. You just have the 4 books. So I got those in a collected volume, and I'm very happy that I.
Yeah, that's right. You pretend the 5th one doesn't exist. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it. Carry on.
Just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of it is it's a non-dimensional point in which the unmanifest reality manifests as reality. Now, I say that again. The non-dimensional point at which unmanifest reality manifests as reality the way we know it. Now, this point is clearly demonstrated by the black hole theory among scientists.
Is it clear?
Which is the idea that a black hole.
Yep. No, that's
yeah,
fine.
Non-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
Non-dimensional.
Which is at the center of our galaxy, for instance, has a tremendous appetite, and it rather eats up the galaxy as it goes over hundreds of billions of years. But the idea of it is that it is a place where mass is condensed to such a smallness as to make it almost impossible to imagine. For instance, just as a general idea, that if the Earth were in the black hole, it would be a microscopic planet.
Oh, yes.
Now, the thing is, but the idea of one would think that this black hole is dimensionally, by our dimensions, very large. But the opposite is true. The black hole is infinitely small and having this massive appetite to consume those things which appear large. And someone has also pointed out that a quasar seems to be the other side of a black hole. That what it takes into its non-dimensionality and back, apparently, into, pre-material being, it then spews out as a huge burst of light, something like a quasar. And that creation, this would be a succession of creation and catastrophe, in which what we're dealing with here is a concept of the Word of God. Now, we take...
Is this, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, I feel like this is how you feel.
Yep.
When, like, Ken Ham or somebody's just, like, throwing out these things. It's like, that's not what a quasar is.
No.
Not at all. I have some sympathy because there was a time where in popular science media stuff, it was conjectured that quasars were like, this is the opposite end of a black hole, and you have like your, essentially like a wormhole kind of theory, right? Like goes in one end and it has to go somewhere, or whatever's disappearing into a black hole, so it goes. But that's not even remotely accurate. The quasars aren't creating anything.
But Dave, you see, it's the dimensionality of the non-dimensional point that has the power, which is a sentence he said. I was like, well, so it's the dimensionality of the non-dimensional fight. I'm okay. Very good.
Yeah. This does feel very much like something Zachariah Sitchin would write or say, where you have somebody who's like, I'm a kind of scholar of ancient Sumerian, but I will just speak as if I'm educated on matters of astrophysics, and very authoritatively, when it's like, no, nothing you're saying is right. This isn't how any of this works. You read something in Popular Science in 1983 and you're just running with that.
You are awarded no points, and we are all dumber for having heard you.
Yes. That is the worst answer I ever heard.
Good luck at the fire, Michael.
Good luck.
Word of God, the Bible, and only the Bible. Well, in a sense, the Bible is the Word of God. Well, maybe it's the Vedas instead. Well, maybe...
Yes, it's all there in Genesis and Enoch and the Gospel of Thomas and the various,
Yep.
Yeah.
In a sense, it's the Vedas. But actually, the primary Word of God is something that West Point calls celestial mechanics. The primary Word of God is the universe and the way it works, both inside of us and outside of us. And it is upon this Word of God that we must depend.
Boy, I'm telling you, you're going to shake up the force tonight. You're on the air with Father Charles Elmore. Hi.
Gentlemen, good evening.
This is a very, very, very Jesuit idea, Jesus, or Paul. The idea that this is why a lot of very famous scholars, including Mendel, the genetics researcher. Not the did I say Mendel? Mendel squares, the Mendel, right? Like did the experiments with the fruit flies and the, or not fruit flies, but whatever.
Mandelbrot? I don't know if that's the right. I don't know.
No, Mandelbrot is a mathematician, the Mandelbrot set.
Fair enough.
Feels Gregory Mendel, was that name? Whatever. He was a Jesuit. Because the Jesuits, this is a core thing where they're like, as opposed to say a lot of young Earth creationists, where they're like, if a fact doesn't agree with the Bible, the fact is wrong. The idea is that God's primary method of speaking, like the universe is God's create. Like if you want to understand God, understand the universe, understand creation, understand the more research, the better you understand the physical reality of the universe in which we live, the more you will learn about the true nature and mind of God, because he made this. So observable facts are the the primary, which honestly has gotten the Jesuits in trouble with the Vatican on a number of. They've been on the outs many times through history because they're often at odds with sort of established Orthodox doctrine, because they are very much like, well, like, I hear what you're saying, but I'm looking at this and it seems to be this thing. And I've looked at it for 20 years and it looks like this. I know that's not what the Pope said, but that's what this is saying. Yeah.
The progressive evangelicals will, they'll say they have the book of nature and the book of Revelation. Like they have, they have nature and special revelation. Those are the two books.
Right.
So you have, and neither can be in conflict with the other. So
neither can be in conflict with the other.
Yeah.
Good morning, as it were.
Where are you?
I'm calling from San Diego.
Okay.
Those of us who are from the
good town.
Monterey Peninsula or in the Monterey Peninsula have known Father Charlie as one of our best kept secrets.
Now, maybe you can help me out here, because a lot of people are writing saying this cannot possibly be a Catholic priest.
Actually, I interviewed Father Charlie in 1992 when I had a show on a public radio station, KAZU, in Pacific Grove.
Really?
Good to hear you again, Father. Hello. I did want to ask you, Art, a real quick question from last night. The gentleman who faxed you about the based on a true story scenario of somewhere in time wasn't perhaps from Tucson, Arizona, was he?
No.
Oh, good. That's good. Father, I'm an Art myself, a devout agnostic.
That'd be a non sequitur.
That would be a non sequitur. Yes.
All right. Let me ask you about the city of someone who you received a fax from last night. Yes, that's Art's favorite thing, is the callbacks to shows other people aren't watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agnostic.
All right. Oh.
And as we...
I need to take a bio break.
All right.
Let her buck.
You have fun.
All right.
No, fundamentalist Christians would say that our only hope for escaping in what you described as their concept of the rapture is to accept Jesus Christ. It sounds like we're doomed. I mean, I had a pretty much surreal, emotional Thanksgiving as it was, and this is kind of the cherry on top. So basically, what can we do, Father?
Well, I think that what we need to do is to...
San Diego is the city that I have spent the most time in without having lived there. I went to Comic-Con every year for 20 years, which is always because I was working it was always like an 8-9 day stint. And then I actually did some other vacation time there and other business meetings. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time in San Diego. So but I don't remember seeing Dr. Joel buying scotch.
Awaken our inner shaman.
In other words, prepare spiritually.
Well, I wouldn't say it that way, really. I know what you mean. But when I say awaken our inner shaman, I'm saying something about our capacity to deal with our unconscious world, all right? And the thing is that, you put it in terms...
I thought a shaman is just someone who knows that things are made out of spirits. Now you put another criteria on it. He's gatekeeping the shamans.
It's just you gotta ease people into the reality of shamans. You can't just dump it all on them right at the start, because their uninvolved minds can't. Yours to
the
he's right.
Conscious world. For instance, in dealing with this thing about the gods, there are two manners in which the gods seem to be ahead of us. One of them is technology, and the other is telepathy. Now, being ahead...
Oh, okay. Good enough.
Way to besmirch our telepathy industry.
Yeah.
We have talented telepaths.
Yeah.
Working away. You're just besmirching them.
Yeah, Charles Xavier has some interesting ideas, but also it's time, Paul, for nightly blood pressure pill.
Oh,
which I'll have you know, I'm excited. My blood pressure is down. It varies night by night, but about 140 over like 100, which is quite a bit better. It was at 165 over 109 at not a couple weeks ago. So
Well done, Dave.
there you go.
I was going to say this show can't be helping your blood pressure.
This one's not bad.
Yeah.
There have certainly been shows that have been worse.
Is kind of a hundreds monkey internet idea, which is that we are all communicating with each other on this unconscious telepathic level all the time. And if we knew how to do that and bring it back and forth into our consciousness, we would be massively empowered.
That's the trouble with my level of telepathy, Dave, is I'm just not aware that I'm doing it.
You're not aware. Now
know. Yes.
I know, and you know that there is a subconscious telepathic field joining all of humanity together in a level below what we can consciously recognize. But a skeptic, a fool, a naysayer would say, we're simply reading body language and picking up on non-vocal cues of like,
I see where you're going with this. I see.
Right? And and they would be wrong. We can all this is telepathy. We're all just subtly,
not just that we can do it, we are doing it. It's just that it's not for some of that subconscious telepathy we were doing bleeds over into our consciousness at different levels.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, Vigilante's here. Far too late to hear about the Book of Jubilee. That's gone. They talked about it earlier. Yeah, you missed it, Vigilante. Gone forever.
Although,
but I mean, what would you say,
mentions
Paul?
the Book of Enoch every 10 minutes, so that's coming.
Yeah,
back.
He won't fucking shut up about it. So what would you say to a fool who doesn't understand that we are in fact all joined by a telepathic field, that all humanity is in some way, and just whatever intuition or things you're picking up, well, this is just based on, the many nonverbal forms of information that humans have. How would you reply to such a foolish argument? As I know that you're a deep believer in telepathy.
Well, I'm just a I'm just a Luddite who wants empirical evidence and repeatable, testable, demonstrable, predictive power.
God, I'm
for
bored
such
already.
things. I know, right? So let's talk about the other thing. So
this is a terrible thumbnail.
If you remember, the gods are way ahead of us in two areas, Dave, and we've been focusing on that second, where the gods seem to have the leg up, as it were, on telepathy.
Right.
But the first one, are the gods more advanced technologically?
I mean, they come here from planet X, from planet 12, Nibiru. Like, they come traveling through space. So,
do they use technology for that?
I mean, they do. They
or are they just gods who can do things?
But it's the old, what's his name? Any sufficiently advanced technology appears as magic. Like, they just have cooler shit. They're not.
So are they, like? Is he admitting that the small g gods? They don't. Yeah, they're relying on inventions.
Right. That's exactly it. Yeah. I mean, there's no such thing as magic. Grow the fuck up, Paul. They got cooler shit. They got all the technology. They got phasers. They got lasers. They got
blazers.
They've got their AI figured out, so they have holodecks.
Oh,
right? Yeah. They got just the right balance. They've got enough generative AI where it has holodecks, but not where it just constantly puts out shitty memes and stories.
You'll notice that in Star Trek Next Generation, when they do have holodecks, the everything was everything was copyright free. The holodeck knew not to infringe upon intellectual property.
Yes. Nothing that wasn't. But I assume
you couldn't just go in there and say, I want to hang out with my favorite celebrity. So like, no, we can't do that. But Moriarty, sure, you can hang out with Moriarty because he's not real.
I don't know if he was public domain when those episodes aired. Like, Sherlock Holmes is right on that cusp where some of it is public domain and some of it isn't. Where we're in the like Sherlock Holmes novels are becoming public domain as time carries on because it's right on that.
Right, but they
that
just
bubble
needed
of
for what
time.
they were doing on the holodeck. They just needed the very first one to be
Yes.
public domain. That's a
Well,
good question.
you needed Moriarty.
You needed
Moriarty's
Moriarty,
not in the first Sherlock Holmes
and they
novel,
talked
but
about
he's
Baker
in one of
Street.
the
So
earlier
there were
ones.
definitely
He
elements.
shows up
Yeah.
in the earlier ones.
So
Yeah.
you think there's a possibility they licensed that?
There is a possibility they licensed that. There's a
Interesting.
possibility they paid money to the estate of
All right. Well,
Doyle. Yeah.
then I take back everything
That would
I
be
said
a,
about
that'd be a
the-
fun time. I'm sure it'd be an easy thing to find out, but I'm curious now. Genuinely curious. Yeah.
All right.
They might not have. He wrote books over many decades, so
Yeah.
there's every chance in the world that was public domain. Yeah.
That.
I believe that as well.
Father?
Yes.
I remember one question that stood out back about 6 years ago now, I guess. We were discussing, when you and I talked, the Kabbalah, and I remember you saying that you bring that up in they were pretty much ecumenical services, aren't they?
Oh, yes.
That you bring up the Kabbalah, but you will not teach it because you consider it too dangerous. In light of what's coming, do you still believe that to be the case?
The thing is, I teach the Kabbalah. I have no problem with that. But when somebody asks me, teach us the practical Kabbalah, which is how to manipulate the power, I won't do that. And the reason is that I know something about that curious religious phenomenon called the forbidden secret. All right? And the thing is that when people,
No. I want to hear this.
if there is a forbidden secret, everybody wants to know what it is.
I was about to ask.
But what the forbidden secret is, now this may not sound like what it is at first, but you'll have to think about it. Now there's my definition of priesthood. Priesthood is not a priest, he's a sacerdos, or a sacrificer. And here's what a priest is. The instrument of a priest is a knife. The action of the priest is to kill. The power of the priest is to get the consent of the victim to its own death.
Mm-hmm.
And the purpose of the priest is to give God a good reputation.
All right. Let me read this to you, Father.
That's the secret? Okay.
That's no, Paul. You couldn't be more wrong. The secret is that if you want something enough, you get it.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a whole fucking book about it. It was a bestseller.
Yes.
I've located the verse in the book of Revelation which mentions the burning mountain. It's Revelations 8:9.
Yeah.
And the second angel sounded his trumpet, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. 10. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp.
That was Satan.
And it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood.
There you go.
Now, that sounds eerily like the bolide that you're talking about, doesn't it?
Certainly does.
It does. It's the bolide
Yes.
that is going to kill us on the future date of June 30th, 1999.
Yes.
And
Which
you
was,
notice these,
I believe, less than a year away from the broadcast of this show.
So I'm going to get myself... tomorrow I'm going to start Get Ready.
Interestingly to me, as a historical footnote, despite his enthusiasm for the idea at this point, as someone who was listening to Art Bell at this period in history, it did seem like he mostly just kind of went on with his radio show and didn't, make any special allowances for the fact that he would cease to exist in slightly less than a calendar
I see.
year.
That seems to be correct.
I would call that plucky. I would call that brave. I don't know what you'd call it, but I'd say he's the real hero.
As long as he maxed out his credit cards.
He maxed out his credit cards, which is just, as we've established, smart at this point.
It's just the smart way to go.
Joke's on them. I've been prepared for the apocalypse for 13 years. Take that, MasterCard.
All right. If we're going for a bit, I will also need to just step away for a minute.
Well, you tell me. You're the one who's been streaming for 14 hours.
I have been streaming for quite a few hours in a row.
Yeah.
Do you feel like we've lost momentum on the show? What do you think?
I think we could probably, round it out to we can do another half hour. How's that sound?
All right. Well, then I will. Then you're gonna riff for a bit.
I'm gonna riff for a bit.
Do you want me to play the show, or are you just gonna chat with the chat?
We can chat with the chat and see I don't know how many people are left in chat. We'll chat with the chat. This is it. Time for everybody. Anybody can ask me whatever questions, and Paul is not here to moderate or stop me. So go ahead, ask anything you want, including my true feelings about Dr. Kip Davis. I'm way too drunk to lie. That is true. Shudder is on its last legs. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Mm-hmm. I know you're true. You're a true fan, Olivia. True blue. You're not going anywhere. So I talked about this with Paul before. I was there. I did have a moment or two. Paul was right at the end of the stream because I watched it after. I was in fact working at my job, so I couldn't contribute meaningfully, but I did listen to most of your talk today. Yeah. I was born and raised in the Christian and Missionary Alliance, which is a very evangelical denomination. But then drifted into the Mennonite church in my teenage years, mostly because most of my friends were there and I just kind of started going to church with them. And that is there you go. Mostly Christian Missionary Alliance and then Mennonite. Yeah. Not an exciting story, but that's it. Any other questions? We're moving on. Here's a fun fact. Let's talk about, once again, for anybody showing up late, if you haven't seen Project Hail Mary, go see Project Hail Mary. Yes, I know, Kip. I even know the one you were almost worked at. We've talked about it. Yeah. It was they're not the Christian Missionary Alliance as Christian denominations go, they're not really out there wacky. They have a very, very heavy emphasis on missions, hence the name. But in terms of beliefs, I don't they're fairly mainstream as far as Christian denominations. They'd more in line with a Baptist or some of the more, I don't know. It's hard to say. What would you say, Paul? I don't think the CMA is a particularly fundamentalist or hard edge. Although I have had nothing to do with them for
they're
decades
pretty strong on the fundamentalist side. They would definitely embrace the most conservative inerrancy. They weren't necessarily insistent upon young Earth creationism, but I think that's the only progressive stance I can imagine that they.
But I don't remember them being they're not really they're not campaigning, against gay rights or things like that.
So I would say that they're
but yeah.
One of the nice things about that denomination was it was very service focused.
Yes.
And but looking back, very service focused to here's a sandwich and a flyer. And it was all, you didn't do acts of service if there wasn't a chance that might help win another soul. So
this is where I will disagree with you somewhat. You're absolutely right. They were going, but I do, and I know certainly my experience of growing up were they were very okay, if yes, they're going to, but it wasn't, you have to take this flyer. They were a very okay, you people need food and water and things, you have to meet practical needs of people. it's not a condition of that you go to church or whatever.
Yeah, no,
now
I don't think we're disagreeing, but they were,
Yeah.
but the acts of service were also like those were generating for them opportunities too. It wasn't
Yes,
conditional
that
upon,
was-
but yeah,
but I've had experience with denominations and things where it's like, it's more like if you don't show up to like the worship service, well, the food and water disappears, right? Like this is conditional.
yeah, no,
You
they
have
were,
to-
I
Yeah.
think I gave them credit.
They
I
were
think they
not-
were very service oriented, despite the fact that they tied it to, unlike what I would say Mennonite Central Committee (MCC) was actually a little bit the opposite side of that. Was like, we're just going to be nice to you, and then we're hope that you're going to want to know why we were nice to you. We're not gonna say it unless you follow up and come ask. So anyway, that, because I also straddled those two worlds, although in a different order than you.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, let's we're as our time ticks away, let's hear some more calls.
Angels, by the way. Notice that these angels are the angels of the four directions.
I almost hate to say this,
I
and
know that. The flagship Christian Missionary Alliance Church of A.B. Simpson in Manhattan is now a famous pizzeria.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Didn't either.
hate to even bring it up with.
Is it called Abe's?
Opportunity lost if it's not.
Yeah. You, but that sounds an awful lot like a Wiccan belief to me.
Well, it is. Because Wiccan is directly descended from primal shamanism, and like all things has become corrupt and therefore a bad word. But nevertheless, its essential approach to reality is an ancient shamanic approach and has to be respected.
All right, Father, can you do one more hour? I mean, there's a million people who want to talk to you here.
Sure.
All right, good.
Hey, Paul,
Father Moore.
I can't.
As we head into commercial break here, you're a coward. Your thoughts on the Oilers, their current situation? I want to talk about it. I am
my
so
guest,
much happier
Father
with
Charles L. Moore. He says the third secret of Fatima has been released. He says the third secret is that this coming June 30th, as Graham Hancock, he says, also predicts, is going to be when a bolide hits earth, water, or land. It may be somewhat academic for all of us. It doesn't really matter. Father Moore,
you know what I love about Graham Hancock? Like, that guy should have been running a Ponzi scheme or something. He has this uncanny, because he'll throw out predictions like this, like the world's going to end in whatever, or this is going to happen, whatever thing's going to happen at this specific date. And then he's completely wrong because he's a crackpot. But somehow still manages to like retain an immense amount of credulity within fringe circles, that he's still, decades later, despite having been proven wrong many, many times,
right,
somehow he's still regarded as an expert in these fields. He's like Joe Rogan. He shows up like now. It's like, well, it's Graham Hancock showing these things. And it's like, this guy, anybody who's been following forever is like, this guy doesn't, why would anybody listen to him? He doesn't know anything. He has no formal training in any of the things that he spouts off on. And what he's going on, like it used to be structures on Mars and structures of the moon. He's really into Egypt or whatever kind of thing. And like, he just kind of drifts through the zeitgeist of what's going on in like fringe paranormal, ufology, all these things. And somehow constantly people are like, yeah, this is what Graham Hancock's saying. It's like, why are you still listening to this man? Why is anybody still listening to this man? He clearly does not know what he's talking about. He's made concrete claims many times, has been demonstrably proven false. Maybe, I guess, is the something. He is very good. Like, he is very good at going. He has that, what's her name from Theranos or whatever. Like, he has that ability. Like, he can go in front of a group of people and like just really sound like you listen to him talk. It's like, well, this guy knows what his shit is.
That's right.
It's the old what's the guy they like, is it Dunning-Kruger, whatever, but wait, we're like an actual expert in a field will kind of be like, well, it's impossible to say for sure, but current preponderance of data suggests that this is the most likely outcome. Because any actual expert in a field will be like, understand, we've thought we were right many times and we don't know, but this is the theory this is what we're operating on now. And I understand that probably even within my lifetime, we'll figure something new out and this will change. Whereas somebody who only like kind of half-ass understands it will be like, well, this is the gospel truth. This is the goddamn fact right here. And you can take that to the bank. And it's like that, you watch out for that motherfucker right there. Anybody who tells you they understand what's going on and nobody else does. They want money or they're just crazy. And I think Graham Hancock's a little both. Anyways, moving. It just shocks me that he has through 40 years consistently been an expert,
right,
in this kind of field. Yeah, and
with no damage to his yeah.
It consistently throws out like concrete predictions that are then proven wrong when they don't happen. But then somehow is still an expert, and was somebody that will go out and be like, well, Zachariah Sitchin at least had the good sense not to like make hard number predictions. He's just kind of like, at some point, this is probably what, this happened in Babylon and it's out there. And at some point, Nibiru is going to do this thing. And what are you going to do? Yeah. Graham Hancock's like, June 30th, 1999. This is the date. And then, and so it's now June 31st, 1999. And you're like, well, what the fuck?
So I'd say Art definitely did a folksy expression.
Oh, he's done so many.
We have definitely had psychic abilities.
Yeah.
And we mentioned structures on the moon. I think I got a bingo.
You got a bingo? Oh, I'm also going to tick off magic, but like real magic.
That was from our conversation, not from his.
He talks about shamanism and a bunch of stuff. I'm ticking it off.
Fair enough.
We've danced around enough stuff that like this is
You can check off Art has a folksy expression. You could check off ancient prophecies.
Yeah, sure can. No, I think crop circles is
no crop circles. No Tesla. Weirdly,
Y2K ain't gonna happen.
No, because we're both screwed on that because they think the world's ending long before 2012. So
there's the crop circles. Yeah, I think that's probably. I don't think I'm getting any of the rest of this. Well, Egypt might honestly have come up already. I might have missed it.
So we both got a bingo.
Alternate realities have definitely come up. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. All right. Yeah. Well, this is a pretty good, pretty big bingo night. Surprisingly,
right.
This is very interesting, and I'm glad somebody faxed me and reminded me. The Vatican, not long ago, against all odds, against all environmental considerations that would have prevented anybody else or any organization or even university from going on top of Mount Graham in Arizona, muscled their way on top of Mount Graham and built an observatory to look at something or for something in space.
There you go.
I mean, they blustered their way past all the red tape, and in conjunction with the university, that observatory is on Mount Graham. What do you suppose they might be looking for?
Maybe what's coming, huh?
Maybe what's coming, huh? Indeed. All right. First time caller line. You're on the air with Father Moore. Hi.
Hello, Art.
Hello, sir.
Hi, this is Nelson from WLS area of Chicago.
Right.
Oh. And Father,
yes,
my question to you is, do you see a chance of the churches going back to their shamanic roots, the Judaism going back to the shamanic roots, or to find God, or everybody going to have to leave the churches?
That is the problem. Precisely, you've got it right on the head. But the thing is that what I say to people, never leave the religion of your mother's womb. Only go within it until you find the place from which it came, and you will find everybody else there with you. Now, what I mean by that is, this is the gospel, it's in the gospel.
That's a deepity, Dave.
Well, he's at least explaining like what? All right. Yeah. What do you mean by that, Father Moore?
Well, he's saying all religions are the same.
I guess.
So if you find out where the one that you believe in came from, then we would all have the same religion. So, yeah.
According to John, in the story
Greeks. Greeks.
Paul of fucking Tarsus. Get out of here.
That was his only angry moment in the whole show.
Yeah. I don't want to look. All right.
I'm a Catholic priest, but don't you talk to me about Paul.
Because I've come to believe he's Greek.
He's a filthy Greek.
Just spanakopita in my ass.
The woman at the well. And here's what Jesus says to her. And in Greek it says pneuma theos, which is...
But he's quoting Greek for everyone else. Everyone else can speak Greek. That's fine.
Yeah.
But not that bastard from Tarsus.
Spirit is the God. Now listen to that. That's kind of different. Spirit is the God. He says, my dear, spirit is the God, and so are you. And if you would relate to God, it is spirit to spirit that you must do it. Where, when, and with whom is a matter of secondary importance. What Jesus is saying is the words of a pure shaman. Jesus is one, and he's telling us all we should be too.
Father, when did you first connect with Zachariah Sitchin?
Oh, quite a while ago. I would say maybe 6 years.
6 years ago.
Yes.
Did it hit you like a brick falling on your head, or did you assimilate it slowly and sort of prove it to yourself, one little proof at a time?
I read his book long before I met him, The 12th Planet. I read that right after it came out.
Oh, quite a while.
Quite a while. And I didn't understand it at all. I read the whole thing through, and I put it aside and said, oh, that's interesting. But then a good friend of ours came by here, Dr. Ed, and invited Zachariah Sitchin to town. And a big turnout came, and I went. And after listening to him talk, I said, wait a minute. I think I read that book. I think I better read it again. And I went and read it again, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And instead of being scandalized or upset, I said, well, that makes sense. And everything's been making better sense ever since.
Now, here's an interesting question that you're not going to be able to answer, but maybe part of it. Somebody writes, what is the name of the liberal bishop who agreed with him? Meaning you're not obviously going to give the name, but would you characterize the bishop you spoke to as liberal?
No.
You wouldn't.
No.
Wildcard line, you're on the air with Father.
Good talk.
Good talk, everybody. Big gulps, huh?
What's the name of that guy that you're not going to tell us the name of? Was he a liberal?
You've already specifically said you're not going to name. Yeah. Would you call him the liberal bishop that you talked to? Would you call him liberal? No. Okay. Well, it's getting pretty late.
More, hi.
Hi there. This is Karen in Houston.
Hi, Karen.
Hey, Art. Father, in the Celtic tradition, I know that, like in the movie Willow that Ron Howard did, there were the Tuatha De Danann, which means people of Danu, which I think ties in.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, and Robert the Bruce was trying to return Scotland to
What?
a Celtic.
Okay, Paul. Please rewind a little bit.
She saw Braveheart and thought it was Willow.
Just please give me go back a minute.
Yeah, okay. So Willow, one of my favorite movies of all time. I was perked up.
This is skewed in words, and then Robert the Bruce came up, and I'm like, okay, I gotta. What happened here? What did I miss something? And I feel like I probably didn't.
Well,
but
all right. Let's rewound a sec. Here we go.
And a big turnout came, and I went. And after listening to him talk, I said, wait a minute. I think I read that book. I think I better read it again. And I went and read it again, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And instead of being scandalized, upset, I said, well, that makes sense. And everything's been making better sense ever since.
Now, here's an interesting question that you're not going to be able to answer, but maybe part of it. Somebody writes, what is the name of the liberal bishop who agreed with him? Meaning you're not obviously going to give the name, but would you characterize the bishop you spoke to as liberal?
No.
You wouldn't.
No.
Wildcard line, you're on the air with Father Moore.
Great. I think that's the call. We're just going to
This is
answer.
the call. Yeah. Or no, or just, yeah, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Willow. Ron Howard directed with Lucasfilm, starring Warwick Davis and Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer's.
Anyway,
First Willow is really good. Then they did a TV series. We aren't going to talk about it. It's disappeared.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
All right, here we go.
Don't worry about it.
So the phrase that he uses was actually the magic chant that Willow uses when he turns the baby into the pig.
Have a cadaver.
Ata tawatha talu talu.
No, I don't.
Hi.
Hi there. This is Karen in Houston.
Hi, Karen.
Hey, Art. Father, in the Celtic tradition, I know that, like in the movie Willow that Ron Howard did, there were the Tuatha De Danann, which means people of Danu, which I think
Tuatha
ties
De Danann,
in.
yes, indeed.
Yes, and Robert the Bruce was trying to return Scotland to the Celtic belief.
That's right.
And so he understood what you understand.
Yep.
The Library of Alexandria, we lost so much when that was destroyed.
Absolutely. Burned
You
with the
think-
Christians.
Right, like the Kamadi scrolls, the Dead Sea Scrolls, is this us slowly getting back some of what we've lost?
Well, I have
She threw in Dead Sea Scrolls in there. These are not connected sentences.
So I didn't miss anything.
These are not connected sentences. Remember in Willow, they had a magic phrase that they used. And then and then Robert the Bruce was trying to return to where he was.
The Celtic beliefs, which is, yeah, whatever. Let's not get into a whole thing about Robert the Bruce. That's a whole conversation for today.
And then something, I forget what, and then Dead Sea Scrolls.
And then the Library of Alexandria.
Oh,
we
then the
lost
Library of
much knowledge there. And that is an absolute fact. Can't argue with that. And the Dead Sea Scrolls.
It's almost like this caller has their own bingo card that they are trying to win with.
Like,
I need to say all these words in the call so I can win my bingo. Okay, those are not connected sentences.
Here's a little fun fact for you, Paul. The next time you're trying to present a case, let's say you're on the line.
Yep.
Possibly with, Matt Dillahunty, maybe Forrest Valkai. Who knows? You're there. You need to present a case, an argument.
Yep.
So present 4 unarguable facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So Miracle Whip is not true mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Portugal speaks a very different version of, essentially Spanish descended based on various social and economic factors of military occupation. The English Empire at one point covered nearly 1/3 of the landmass of the earth. And inflation doesn't seem to be going away.
Yeah.
Nobody can argue with any of those facts. Those are all demonstrably true.
Sure.
Right? Ergo, vis-a-vis, concordantly. Yeah. God does not exist. And you can just throw that up. And then and everyone will be like, oh, I never thought about that. Right? Like if you can't, it's like any good lawyer, right? Like if you can't argue with any of the crumbs on the bread trail, you cannot argue with even if
itself.
The witness that you've let, if they've said yes to every question leading up to, even if they refuse to acknowledge it, the jury you can't not see the conclusion. So if you're a good trial lawyer, you will lead this up, right? Like you've set up much like my cousin Vinny, right? The old, like you ask these questions leading up, this rusty screen, this bush in the way, these cars, this distance, can you possibly have identified? Well, at that point, it doesn't even matter what the witness says, because all of the questions you've asked leading up and the witness has already said yes to, well, like there is no other conclusion you could possibly draw at that point. So this is prime oratory. This is debate 101. You just throw out these facts. So I'm saying you could learn a lot from this woman from Houston.
It is a master class of argumentation.
Right. There was a library in Alexandria. It did burn down, and a great deal
right.
of the ancient world knowledge was lost in that fire.
Mm-hmm.
Dead Sea Scrolls. So you can see.
So you can see how.
Are you saying the Dead Sea Scrolls are good or bad, or there was something that happened in that, or just there are Dead Sea Scrolls? Because I mean, we can all agree there are Dead Sea Scrolls. Like that's true. That's the thing. And I mean, we have one of the world's leading experts on the Dead Sea Scrolls in chat right now. Kip would agree. Like there are Dead Sea Scrolls. So we all agree.
Again. This is the chain of thought here.
Just a recap: Willow, Robert the Bruce, the Library of Alexandria, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Yeah, the Library of Alexandria burned down. I would throw that. Willow, Robert the Bruce, the Library of Alexandria burned down. Dead Sea Scrolls. No further comment. So you can agree that we are returning to shamanistic traditions. I do not agree with that. I don't. Yeah.
Super chat from Olivia Williams, Purple Fairy.
Yeah.
Non sequitur, your facts are unaligned. Indeed.
You just don't understand them. That's the problem. You're the problem, not my facts.
That's right.
Your interpretation of the facts.
The facts are aligned.
Yeah.
You just are unaligned.
Yeah. Kip, not only are there real Dead Sea Scrolls, there's fake Dead Sea Scrolls. There's so many. You can't fucking throw a cat without hitting a Dead Sea Scroll somewhere, right? So many Dead Sea Scrolls, we don't even know.
News for you, yes, it is.
Yes.
They found out that the Library of Alexandria had a basement. And the basement was not burned and was underwater. And they're beginning to bring up all those books. And these are the second copies, but we're beginning to find.
Ancient books famously do very well underwater.
I don't know if papyrus scrolls.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as I say, this is like the Earth thing. I'd have to, but I certainly feel like had the basement of the Library of Alexandria survived, probably would have heard more about it.
I would think
kind of big deal. Kind of a big deal. Yeah.
The Library of Alexandria is totally gone after all.
All right.
That fun.
And the shamanic part that you're talking about with Christ, in the Book of Thomas from the Nag Hammadi scrolls, he does have that quote in there that I have faxed to Art sometime back, and I think you're bringing that back out again, where he says, bring forth that which is within you, and what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, then it will destroy you.
Exactly.
Is this what you're talking about?
That's right, because that which is within you is the spirit.
Yes.
And it will turn you into a curdled mass of fear unless you do with it what it's supposed to do, which is to manifest it.
Right. In other words, when you understand things and you have certain knowing, you should share it and not just keep it to yourself or manipulate it in the wrong ways, because it will
yes,
it'll
but I
burn
would
you up.
give a caution with that.
Yes.
Masters do not teach dogma.
Right.
They teach dharma. And the difference is that dogma tells you what you must do, and dharma suggests to you what you might do.
Dan McClellan famously dogma over dharma. You don't know what I'm talking about, but
no.
Nope.
And that keeps you from crossing wires with the free will of things.
Exactly. You only suggest to them where they might look, because you know perfectly well nobody believes what people tell them. All of us only believe what we find out for ourselves. And the only way we can help each other is to help each other find out without preempting the process.
In other words, leading others to personal experience.
I feel like this lady might be the next guest on Art Bell. Why? You know what? I got recommended by a fan, and this lady seems like a fan of mine, so you should have her on next week.
You should have her on. Yeah. Father Morris suggested her, so yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Father, a million people are going to want to get hold of you. Is there an email address, a website, a regular mail address, or anything you can...
There's an email address.
Okay.
The real name of Merlin is Moordoon, and much hangs by that. Now, curiously, my last name is Moore, and therefore I have taken that name. Dune, AOL.com.
Okay, spell that for me, please.
Moordune. D-U-N-E, as in sand dune.
Moordume.
D-U-N-E, yes.
N as in
Ned, yes.
As in Nora.
Right.
Oh, more Dune.
We're doomed.
Okay, that's M-O-O.
This may not be a highlight of the show where Art is
Yeah.
struggling to get his email address.
Get his email. Yeah, Merlin. Just fucking spell the email, okay? Champ.
All right. Well, I feel like we can't top the caller for the Willow Robert the Bruce slash
Yep.
Alexandria Library.
We've hit it. We've peaked.
We peaked.
We've peaked. This
All
is
right.
peak Art Bell.
I'm coming on. I've been streaming for quite a few hours now.
You baby.
I
This
know.
is fine. You're fine.
I'm fine.
What is it? 5 a.m. where you are? This is fine. You're fine.
It's good.
All right.
All right, Dave. Do you have a joke for us today?
Let me think of one. Okay. This isn't all right. It's not the best. Paul,
Yes, Dave.
you know, one of my most cherished memories when I was a child was my cousins pushing me down a hill in a tire. I don't know if you ever did that when you were a kid.
Indeed.
And I love that memory. It was a good year. That's it. You know what is burning me up right now? There was a joke I heard this week, and I can't remember that. I'm like, that's a perfect one for toast to toast. And
Shoot.
I'm gonna have
You
to.
missed
I have to try to remember, but I'm too drunk right now. I cannot pull it up. And it's it's grinding my
enough.
gears, as the kids say. Anyways.
Well, thank you to everyone for hanging out with us, and especially for those of you who hung out with us for 2 streams.
2 streams.
Indeed. Thank you
I
to our
didn't.
sponsor, The Good Shit.
Thanks, the good shit. We love what you do.
We
Good
love
work.
what you do. Thank you. Congratulations to our bingo winners. And cheers to you, Dave.
Hey, thanks, friend.
With your
cheers to you.
With your ever decreasing blood pressure.
Hey. Just hoping I don't have a stroke or heart attack anytime in the near future.
Exactly. All right. Thanks for everyone, and we will talk to you next time we have a show. Later.
And that's the end of our show. Press 1 to vote for Christian 80s rock karaoke.